Welcome back to Harold L. Bolig Memorial Field. Pat O'Brien and Ryan Brandt, our stat man, Zach Showers, as the Seals getting ready to take on the Central Mountain Wildcats. We mentioned that it is homecoming, and homecoming court for tonight's game. Freshmen Grace Marone and Brett Rice, Quinn Smith and Logan Dressler represent the freshman class. The sophomore classes, Audrey Booker and Henry Wetmiller. Also, Elizabeth Thomas and Jarrett Bullington. The junior class, Lexi Felty and Logan Rocky, along with Olivia Kadrina and Ari Various. The senior class representing homecoming here tonight, Ava Blair and Mike Stabilla, Elena Davis, Stephen Miller, Haley Nava, Max Maurer, Hannah Reichenbach and Connor Andretti, and also Cassidy Kibler and Logan Othout. With this year's 2022 Homecoming King and Queen was announced tonight. It's Haley Nava and Max Maurer. Congratulations to Haley and Max as the Homecoming King and Queen 2022. Ryan, as we always say, this is the time we're going to get this one underway, and I throw it to my broadcast partner to ask exactly what is going to seal the deal for a victory for the Selinsgrove Seals.
Honestly, for tonight, I just think consistency. Get that passing game going, be consistent, good percentage, do that 65% completion rate. I think, again, consistency in the running game, 5 yards a carry, and then that defense just flying around the field and doing what it does year in and year out. I just think if Selinsgrove can stay consistent tonight, I think it'll be too much pressure for the Central Mountain team, and then it really doesn't matter what Central Mountain does, and that's kind of the nice thing. You want the game to be in your hands. You don't want to have to worry about what the opponent does and hope that they don't play their game. I just think if Selinsgrove plays their game consistently, they come out tonight with a W for game number 1,000 in the program.
And again, all part of the festivities here tonight. It's, as you mentioned, Selinsgrove football observing the 1,000th game in their rich history tonight. And when the Seals play Central Mountain, before the game, we heard the homecoming activity, home court activities, and also we're going to have distinguished alumni will be honored in a halftime. As I mentioned, former coach Bill Mull, Bill Scott, and Dave Hess will be recognized by the Selinsgrove Seals School District. Again, congratulations on their being honored here tonight. What an impact those three have had on this rich football history in Selinsgrove. So, Selinsgrove Seals have made their way on the field in white helmets, blue shirts, and white pants, while the Central Mountain Wildcats will be making their way out on the court, on the field here very shortly as well. The weather couldn't be better. Nice overcast evening, but no rain expected. Temperature perfect for high school football. Selinsgrove trying to get back in the win column after a loss a week ago to the Mifflinburg Wildcats. Looking at captains, we'll have those for you here very shortly as they'll make their way out to midfield for the traditional coin toss. Selinsgrove has deferred when they won the toss. See if they do that again here tonight, as last week they did not win the toss, and actually it worked in their favor in terms of that because Mifflinburg took the ball a week ago with that explosive offense, but that Selinsgrove defense was up to the task from the passing department. It was the run department that was a struggle, and hopefully those things have had themselves worked out because that's what Central Mountain is going to rely on. Well, that has been Seals Game Day, driven by Sunbury Motor with Ford, Hyundais, and Lincolns in the North 4th Street Auto Plaza in Sunbury. Sunbury Motors Kias routes 11 and 15 on the Strip in Hummel's Wharf. Get Again, in at 0-6, lost to Mifflin County and at Bloom. Shikellamy lost 23-3. They lost to Mifflinburg and Shamokin. Mifflinburg was a 35-7 score, while Shamokin was a 47-28. And then the Williamsport Millionaires were able to beat Central Mountain 48-16. That was a week ago. After tonight, the Central Mountain Wildcats will be at Garden Spot at Clearfield, and they'll wrap up the regular season against the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. For the Seals, they are 4-2. They got the opening 2 wins when they beat Bellefonte 32-0, beat Juniata 17-14 before losing to Jersey Shore. But then they had back-to-back wins as they beat Shamokin 10-7 in overtime and beat Shikellamy 35-7 before falling a week ago to the Mifflinburg Wildcats 19-0. Spotlight some players for the Central Mountain Wildcats. Quarterback Myers, 35 completions on 81 attempts, 345 yards, just 1 touchdown, and has thrown 6 picks. In the backfield, Serafini, 72 carries, 373 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also, you'll see Weaver, number 21 for the Wildcats, 22 carries, 121 yards and a touchdown. In the receiving corps, Foltz, 16 catches, 107 yards and a touchdown. Also, Greninger, 9 catches, 92 yards, number 6 for the Central Mountain Wildcats. And Longworth, number 2, 6 catches, 150 yards. He's averaging 25 yards a reception, and he does have 2 touchdowns for the Central Mountain Wildcats. For the Selinsgrove Seals, at quarterback, Mark Pastore, 25 completions on 45 attempts, 386 yards. He's thrown 4 touchdowns and 2 picks. Tucker Teets, 63 carries, 342 yards. He's averaging 5.4 yards a carry and 2 touchdowns. Nick Rice leading the way in the receptions, 14 catches for 180 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gavin Bastian, 9 catches, 204 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also junior number 14, Josh Damaraki, 6 catches, 47 yards and a touchdowns. In the special teams for the Central Mountain Wildcats, number 23, Jones. He's 7 for 8 on PATs, 2 for 2 on field goals, his long of 27 yards. Their punter, number 60, Bennett, averages 35.3 yards per punt for the Central Mountain Wildcats. For the Selinsgrove Seals, Carter Young, 10 for 11 at PATs, field goals 6 for 7, his long of 40, and he's averaging over 35 yards a punt for the Selinsgrove Seals. Has been a weapon as he's been able to make 6 out of 7 field goals, and we talked about that already. Seals not only gave up the ball deep in Mifflinburg territory last week to take away an opportunity to score a touchdown, but also when you have the weapon of Carter Young, taking away an opportunity for him to get a field goal chance last week did not happen for the junior Carter Young. Again, Derek Hicks in his 8th year for the Seals, 4-2 on the season. He'll look to Corey Rumberger, 58 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, and also Logan Othout in a reserve position, 32 tackles and a fumble recovery, and Caleb Hicks leads the team in interceptions, 4 picks. 1 he was able to return for a touchdown that came against the Shikellamy Braves just a few weeks ago as Selinsgrove broke out in the 4th quarter to put the Braves away 35-7 in that one. Captains here tonight for the Selinsgrove Seals, Corey Rumberger, the senior, also Ryan Gavison, the junior, Stephen Miller, the senior, and also a captain tonight was number 73, Austin Finelli. He's a senior, was the captain for the Selinsgrove Seals. The Seals will kick this one away to the Central Mountain Wildcats, looking to get this one underway here on Eagle 107, Eagle107.com. For those joining us on the YouTube channel, welcome to Selinsgrove Football on Eagle 107, Eagle107.com, and on the SBC Sports Live YouTube channel. We are underway. Return man muffs it at the 10, scoops it up at the 13, and he's going to be swallowed over, not make it out to the 15-yard line. Looked like Bullington on the stop, and the special teams coverage after the muff kickoff by the Central Mountain Wildcats put up deep in their own territory. They'll have it inside the 15, about the 13-yard line to get this one underway.
Great job there in the coverage team for Selinsgrove, putting Central Mountain's backs towards their end zone. I believe, too, in on that tackle, Andrew Sassman, junior, 5'10", 172 pounds. Nice job wrapping up and taking the Central Mountain would-be return man down.
Gavison will line up at the safety position, flanked to his right. Nick Rice is a corner, and also Caleb Hicks. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Going to go up the middle, hit off his feet. Racing through, look like Corey Rumberger in on the stop for the Seals. Again, leading tackler coming into tonight is Corey Rumberger. After a great junior year, he's put together a nice senior season here in 2022.
Ethan Miller just blitzing the gap and blowing it up. Yeah, you said it, Pat. Took the man off his feet. That's a big hit.
Getting a lot of that from the linebacker position for the Selinsgrove Seals. Luke Smith gets the start, the outside linebacker. He's to the left in the formation here. Running back's going to take the handoff going left to right. Not much there. Not going to get back to the original line of scrimmage before he is taken down. Boone on the carry for the Central Mountain Wildcats as he took the handoff going to the right as Noon was taken down. Looked like back to the original line of scrimmage, and just like that, it's a third down and 10 for the Wildcats.
You can't ask for a better start from the Seals defense. It's a quick 3 and out, barely a minute off the clock. It's exactly what you want for a big game tonight here in Selinsgrove.
Corey Rumberger is going to check out of the game, trying to quickly get Oath out into the game as Central Mountain is getting ready to line up. It must have been an equipment issue because the officials stopped it here to allow the sub get in, and that's Logan Oath out, lining up at the middle linebacker position. Second on the team in tackles in a reserve position here for Logan Oath out. Wide receiver to the left. Third down and 10. Taking a snap is Myers, trying to go on a design run. Hit, take it down, and that's going to be Ethan Miller on the stop there, along with Sassaman in on the stop, and give credit to Logan Oath out, got in there. It's going to be a punting situation for the Central Mountain Wildcats.
And there it is, the 3 and out, real quick. Yeah, you can't ask for a better start. Through 3 runs, nowhere. Total of 1 yard. Selinsgrove defense ready to go. And what is it? The run game. What we were worried about from their from last week when Mifflinburg was able to get some things done on that part.
Now they're looking to get great field position. Nick Rice standing at midfield, waiting for the punt. It gets away. End over end is going to bounce and take a good roll for Central Mountain inside Seals 40, all the way down close to the 36-yard line. Seals go great field position, though, after a good defensive stop. They'll take over. First down and 10. Just underway here from Selinsgrove. No score as Selinsgrove defense comes up with the stop at 3 and out against the Wildcats. The Wildcats, again, come in at 0-6, but they have been able to put up numbers at times throughout the season. They were able to put up 28 against Shamokin. They also put up 21 against Bloomsburg, 16 against Williamsport. So they have been able to score, and it's mostly been from the run game.
Man, inches from blocking that punt. Inches from blocking that punt. They really went for it. An unbelievable bounce on Central Mountain's punt there in their favor. Really could have been much better field position for Selinsgrove.
Trips to the right for Mark Pastore. One wide receiver split to the left. Going in motion is Bastion. He's going from right to left. Deep man gets the call. That's Teets. Not going to get anywhere. May fall forward. Looks like actually they're going to say he lost a yard on that as Tucker Teets went with the handoff to the right. Not much of a push, and it is going to be a loss of 1 back to the 35-yard line. It'll be a second down at 11 for the Seals.
And when I saw Central Mountain play week 2 at Bloomsburg, this is something they were able to do, Pat. They, for the first half and maybe a little bit into the third quarter, they were able to own the line of scrimmage. They were able to keep Bloomsburg from getting any kind of push. And it wasn't until later they kind of wore out and Bloomsburg kind of pulled away. But we'll see how this goes as well tonight for Central Mountain there at the line of scrimmage.
They got the best of it on that first down and 10 play. It's a second and 11. Pastore's going to drop back under some pressure. Gets rid of it. Looking for Nick Rice. Unable to make the connection on the out route that time by Nick Rice. Falls incomplete, and it's going to be a third down and 11 for the Seals.
A nice route by Rice. Really cut well there. Got open. Just a little too far out in front of him. The only Selinsgrove Seal receiver to have a catch in every single game this year.
Just like that, it's a third down and 11. Pastore gets the call from the sidelines. Fashion makes his way to the huddle on a big third down. Just underway, no score between the Wildcats and the Selinsgrove Seals. Wildcats looking to get their first win of 2022. Bunch formation to the right, one wide receiver to the left. Shotgun formation for Pastore. Blitz coming. Going to be a whistle before we get going here. As officials will chit-chat about this one. Again, I want to remind you, we'll be keeping an eye on the Danville-Montoursville game. We call that the Blaze Alexander Ford Built Ford Tough Game of the Week. Brought to you by Blaze Alexander Ford. where it's worth the drive to route 45. Penalty goes against the Selinsgrove Seals, so that's going to be a 5-yard walk-off against the Seals. Put the ball at the 30-yard line. So just like that, it's going to be a third down and long for the Seals. About a third down and 16. 9:16 to go in the opening quarter, no score. They go with trips to the right, one wide receiver to the left. Pastore's going to drop back. He's got some time. Looking deep down the left sideline. Looking for Bastion. Oh, just outside of the extended hands of Bastion. Falls incomplete. It'll be a fourth down in a punting situation here for the Selinsgrove Seals.
All right, Pat, so did the quarterback overthrow it or did the receiver underrun it? That was a beautiful looking pass in the air. Spiral, very tight, just outside the outreach of the Bastion there. That would have been a great big play to open up here in this first quarter, but what is it? Did he underrun it or was it overthrown?
Well, I'm going to follow the lead of my wife, Teresa, and she said it was underrun. The wide receiver did not run under the ball. We do that playfully, of course, but they'll be looking for that again. A good punt by Carter Young, gets a good roll. Return man picks it up at the 30. It's going to go backwards all the way to the 27-yard line, and that's where Central Mountain will take over for their second offensive possession here tonight. And you say that about underrun or overthrown. It's so quick to say that it was the quarterback. You do it at every level. They say that, oh, just overthrown. But either way, that connection is going to be there. We know they're just getting themselves back into the flow of things, but that's an explosive connection when Mark Pastore can find Gavin Bastion out in the open that time and just missed him on that deep sideline pass. It forced a punting situation, so Selinsgrove's back on defense. First down and 10 for the Wildcats. Handoff goes to the deep man. Straight up the middle. Pick up maybe one is all they're going to give them on that, so it's going to be a second down and long for the Selinsgrove Seal defense. Trying to come up with the stop here.
Luke Smith, I think first man to the ball there for Selinsgrove, number 12, along with Corey Rumberger flying in there, doing a decent job, just maybe a yard at most there on first down.
Luke Smith got involved in the stop, Sarah Fair, for a short pickup there. We're calling it second down and 9. Man goes in motion from left to right. It's going to be a direct snap to the deep man, off to the right side that time. That time it went to Connor Foltz. Not going to get much, maybe a yard. Good pursuit that time by the Seals defense. It is going to be a third down and long for the Wildcats.
Again, second possession for the Wildcats. Selinsgrove staring at them right now saying, we're going to put you another quick 3 and out here. Get the ball right back in the offense's hands, see if they can't get something going. But 3rd and 7, a long third down the Central Mountain Wildcats are facing. Got to give a lot of credit right now to the Selinsgrove defense. They are flying to the ball, tackling in bunches. I like what I see coming out of this defense.
Sure, that was the emphasis through the week in practice. Quick throw this time. It's going to go out to Foltz. He makes the catch at the 30, and he's going to be tackled that time. Nick Rice on good job from his corner position, helped off by Rumberger, but that's a fourth down and about 4 in a punting situation here for the Central Mountain Wildcats.
Very good job of Rice, the cornerback, getting off the receiver block there. And if he doesn't, that's a first down and more. So Rice getting his hands out, not letting the receiver get into his body, sheds it, wraps up, and brings him down for a minimal 5 yards on that play, forcing Central Mountain to punt.
Punting situation here for the Central Mountain Wildcats. Nick Rice is back, waiting for this. It's going to be a short punt. Go off the side of his foot. It's going to bounce in Central Mountain territory and stop in Selinsgrove favor to roll to the 41-yard line. So it's going to be a first down and 10 for the Selinsgrove Seals again. Great field position as they'll have it at the 41-yard line in Central Mountain territory.
That was a total of like 6 yards on that punt. Last week I went and saw Milton and Hughesville play. Hughesville's first punt of the game, -6 yards.
Well, this one's a little better. 9-yard punt, but in great position for the Seals as they're trying to get things going here. No score between the Seals and the Central Mountain Wildcats as Selinsgrove has it first down and 10 at the Central Mountain 41-yard line. Bashy goes in motion from left to right. Pastore takes a snap. Quick pitch to Teach. Trying to bounce it to the outside. Hit. Going to be a loss of the play back to the 45-yard line. Good job by Central Mountain. Loss of 4. It's going to be a second down and 14 for the Seals.
Yeah, they bring Bastion in motion. Maybe try and get the defense to think that, get a quick little reverse end around to him. They don't bite. They stay. Teach just nowhere to go. Defense slung him out and was able to grab him for that 3-4 yard loss. Well played by Central Mountain.
So after the loss on the play, the Seals will come up with the ball at the Central Mountain 45-yard line. 6:45 to go in the opening quarter. No score. Snap gets to Pastore. Quick throw this time to Nick Rice. Making a catch. Makes a man miss. Dives forward. And is going to get back to where this possession started. And that's at the Central Mountain 41-yard line. It's going to be a third down and 10 for the Seals.
Well, Nick Rice again. Another game. He had another catch. It's a good last name, Pat, if you want to be a receiver.
It is a good name. Nick Rice. And it's good.
Jerry's his uncle, right?
Uncle Rice.
Uncle Jerry.
Uncle Jerry. Not tonight. Wide receivers to each side. Selinsgrove faced with a third down and 10. Pastore drops back. Quick throw this time. Gets it to Nick Rice. Uses his speed. Got a first down. Makes a man miss. Upended as he gets close to the 25-yard line. Put him about the 26-yard line. So a good play that time. It's a connection from Pastore to Rice, and it picks up an important first down for the Seals to keep this drive alive.
And just very simple, hitch route. You stop. The ball's got to be delivered quick, and then it's up to him to turn it upfield and make the play, and that's exactly what Rice did. Very good job there, execution-wise, and I love the yards after the catch.
Selinsgrove pops out of the huddle this time. It's going to be in an I formation with Ethan Miller playing the fullback position. Wide receivers to each side. Pastore looking over the defense, under center. Takes a snap. It's a fumble. Ball's on the turf. Ethan Miller was the intended runner here, but never got to him, and now there's a scramble for the ball. No official call on who got the fumble recovery.
Miller's got it.
And they're going to say Ethan Miller did get it back, so the possession will stay in Selinsgrove favor. But fortunate that way. Looked like the ball never got to Ethan Miller. Was fumbled. Ethan jumped on top of it. Did end up getting 2 yards on the carry. So it's going to be a second down and 8 for the Seals.
Very low exchange there. Pastore just had the ball down at Ethan's knees. Never really up in his target area. And Ethan just needed the ball.
Fortunate to come away with it. Second down and 8. This is going to go to Teets, going to the right. Gets a great block from Ethan Miller. He's at the 10, 5, touchdown Selinsgrove Seals.
And there it is. We were just talking before the game. He hasn't had too many big rushes this year for big yardage. That's got to be in the top 2 or 3 there for him, and Selinsgrove uses that to get the first score of the game. Just talk about patience, Pat, on that run. Came to a stop, let the hole develop, cuts back, and man, he showed the afterburners after that.
And takes it in for the first score here tonight, and it's for the Selinsgrove Seals as Carter Young will attempt the extra point here. Trying to push the lead to 7-0. Getting the snap from Sassaman. Good snap, holds down, kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 4:33 to go here in the opening quarter, the Selinsgrove get on the board first. With the good extra point, they lead 7-0. The touchdown run by Teets covering 25 yards, and it was able to complete a 5-play, 41-yard drive, taking 2 minutes and 48 seconds. Again, the extra point good, and the Selinsgrove Seals take the 7-0 lead over the Central Mountain Wildcats. That's the Selinsgrove Ford drive summary.
Well, defense here, Pat. Can they go 3 straight 3-and-outs, put the ball back in the hot offense hand? That would be perfect for Selinsgrove.
And we talked about what are the keys to success, Steve's stats for success, and one of them is field position, and it's definitely in Selinsgrove's favor at this point, as they've been able to get good field position. That one, they got the ball at Central Mountain's 41-yard line, and even though they had a negative play there on a run, they were able to overcome that and eventually get the 25-yard touchdown run by Tucker Teets for the Selinsgrove Seals. For Tucker Teets at his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season for the junior running back. Now Carter Young will tee it up and kick this one away for the Seals. Two return guys standing inside their 10-yard line for the Central Mountain Wildcats. The kick is away. Return man's going to take it. Now it's a handoff on a reverse this time for Central Mountain. Up the right sideline and finally take it out of bounds. Looks like it'll be right around the 20-yard line, and that's where Central Mountain will take over. First down and 10, trailing to the Seals 7-0 after the 25-yard touchdown run by junior Tucker Teets. See some new numbers coming in as well. Keep you updated on that, as it almost seems like Coach Hicks is trying to keep his team fresh, keep guys going in and out of here, and that's important late in the season. Guess Maria checks in, number 27. He'll play on the left side of the defense for the Selinsgrove Seals. Shotgun formation for Central Mountain as Myers is waiting for the snap. Gets it, gives it to the deep man. Straight up the middle, nothing there. Maybe a loss of 1 on the carry that time for Central Mountain. Good job up front by that Selinsgrove defense.
44, that's Max Maurer? No, Ethan Miller. Ethan Miller just getting in there, getting low. You're right. Looks like they lost a yard on the play. So far in this game, Selinsgrove's defense has just gotten there. I mean, in the backfield, making things happen, stretching them out. Central Mountain's either going backwards or they're going left or right, and that's a great sign for this Selinsgrove defense and for the outcome of this game. If they can keep doing this, Central Mountain's going to have negative yards at the half.
Well, Serafini on the carry for the negative yardage. Now they're going to try to throw a screen. Gets it out there, Foltz. Foltz reverses his direction between the hashes. Be short of the 25-yard line. Might get him to about the 23-yard line. Well short of a first down. So it's going to be another third down situation here for the Wildcats as the Seals defense looking, like you said, Ryan, trying to get another 3 and out against this Wildcat offense.
And this is probably the best position the Wildcats have been in yet. It's going to, 3rd and 7 again. I thought it was going to be 3rd and 6. So this is the second time they've been at 3rd and 7. Defense just flying to the ball, getting it done. And Nick Rice having a nice game both sides of the ball right now. He seems to be involved in everything.
Myers coming in tonight with only 35 completions on 81 attempts. He's going to throw it again out to Foltz. Foltz makes an athletic catch, goes down quickly. That's Rumberger making the stop. Reddit, the play there as it unfolded, makes the stop, loss on the play, and again, another punting situation as Bennett for the Central Mountain Wildcats will make his way out to punt this one away.
Not many guys coming out on the positive when they're in the open field with Rumberger staring them down. That was a big boy tackle there, wrapping up, textbook perfect. And the defense does it again.
Each quarter, we're looking for candidates for the Shamokin Dam Health Center backbreaker plays of the game. And, boy, what a opportunity here is, again, Nick Rice standing at midfield. If he could catch this cleanly and maybe give us a candidate. And it's blocked. Spencer George able to get in there and get to the ball. Blocks it. Selinsgrove will take over at the Central Mountain 10-yard line. Number 40, Spencer George makes his way in, goes up, gets the block, and Selinsgrove jumps on top of it. They'll have it first down, and they're in business at the Central Mountain 11-yard line.
It's one of those things that every single high school coach talks about that I don't think the average fan understands how important it is. Special teams. Special teams, special teams. It can really change the outcome of a game. That's huge right there. Spencer George getting those big balls up there, knocking it down, putting his offense in a great position.
You had said a punt before that they almost got it, missed it just by inches, so this time they do get to it. Pastore under center, give it to Tucker Teets, trying to make his way through, tiptoes, still going to about the 7-yard line. Looked like he was going nowhere right about the 11. He cut back the other way, makes a run out of it to give about 5 yards. That's going to be a second down and 5 as the Seals can pick up a first down if they're able to get the ball inside the 1-yard line. So now is about a second and we're going to call it 6. Under 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Seals up 7-0, trying to add to it here.
And that is, by the way, that block punt, Spencer George's second block punt of the season.
Getting to it. Using those big paws, jumping ability, got in there, went up over a would-be blocker and got it, and really setting the Seals up for an opportunity to increase their lead here. Second down and 6. Pastore looking over the defense, takes the snap, gives it to Teets. Teets pulls his way inside the 5, down to about the 1-yard line. Now it's a matter, is it enough for a first down? Wait for the officials to come out, and they have not given a signal. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down and less than a yard to pick up a first down as they put the ball at about the 1.5-yard line. This comes after we talked about George was able to get to the ball, block it, setting the Seals up at the Central Mountain 11-yard line. I formation behind Pastore. Wide receivers to each side. Long count. Give it to Teets. Going left. Jumps for the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, Selinsgrove Seals.
And that's a touchdown for 1,000 yards. Teets goes for 1,000 yards on the season on that carry. That is a great way to get 1,000 yards. A touchdown, put yourself up 2. Hey, this offense might have been struggling over the past couple of weeks, but they're rolling right now, about to put 14 on the board.
As Carter Young will attempt the extra point here for the Seals. Snaps good, holds good, kick, and a boom through by junior kicker, punter, Carter Young to increase the Selinsgrove lead to 14-0 with 46 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. So Seals take advantage of a block punt and take it in from 11 yards out to finish off the drive. Touchdown by the Seals, extra point good. And again, they increase their lead over the Central Mount Wildcats, 14-0. As Teets gets his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, his 2nd of the night for the junior tailback. Good push up front, was able to take it in for the score for the Selinsgrove Seals. And it all comes with 46 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Good to see the Seals get off to a good, fast start. They have not been able to do that throughout the year. They struggled in the first half, in the Smoking game, also in the Shikellamy game, to get points on the board. Again, last week against Mifflinburg. So they got to feel good about their preparation and how things have gone when you get a benefit from, like you said, Ryan, in the special teams to get the big block and eventually finish it off with the touchdown. Carter Young kicks this away. Down to the goal line and into the end zone. It will be a touchback by Carter Young and the Seals. So Central Mountain trailing 14-0 will have it at their own 20-yard line going back on offense.
Like to see this defense maybe get the grand slam 4 in a row. 3 and outs.
You're calling for it.
Man, what a dominant quarter so far for the Seals. Defensively, offensively. I know their first possession didn't quite go the way they wanted to. It was actually only a couple inches off on a deep throw from actually being a big first possession, but offense has got it going right now. Defense, you can't be more dominant than what they are right now. This ball I felt like has been on this side of the field the entire half, or entire quarter.
And we talked about that coming in and about field position, and it's been in the favor of the Seals again here tonight. Foltz goes in motion. Myers is going to keep it, going to the right. He's got some room. Able to shake away from a tackle, that's Caleb Hicks, and then get some help from fellow blue shirts before Myers is able to get to the 30-yard line. But it'll be about a 9-yard pickup for the quarterback for the Wildcats. So set up a 2nd down and 1. That scoring drive for the Seals, 3 plays, 11 yards. Took a minute and 30 seconds, finished off by Teets' 2-yard touchdown run. That's the Selinsgrove Ford drive summary.
Well, I don't like that. That was almost a first down.
Got 2nd and 1, so yeah, their best 2nd down opportunity here for the Wildcats in the first 4 possessions. As we talked about, it's been a dominating performance in this first quarter by the Selinsgrove Seals. And that ends the first quarter, so we're going to flip sides of the field as the Selinsgrove Seals will look at Central Mountain trying to get a first down on a 2nd down and 1. Selinsgrove lead 14-0. This is Selinsgrove football presented by Selinsgrove Ford on Eagle 107 and Eagle107.com.
With all the great vehicles out there to drive, Lyle's not always going to be in a Bronco, but when he does want a Bronco, he knows to go to blazealexander.com. With over 20 locations across Pennsylvania and thousands of cars to choose from, blazealexander.com is your one place to shop for both sales and service. So let Lyle help you fetch your next vehicle, only at blazealexander.com.
Platinum Center. Central PA is open its 6th location in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Come see us in Carlisle, Mechanicsburg, Harrisburg, Lancaster, Selinsgrove, and now Hershey, PA. Take a test drive and be automatically registered to win a brand new 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage, or visit creditpa.com today and apply for credit. Come on, Central Pennsylvania, you already know. Platinum, baby. We get you done.
Welcome back to Harold L. Bolick Memorial Field. Selinsgrove leading 14-0. Move it into the second quarter. Myers drops back. Gets a quick throw out there. Falls incomplete, as that was intended for Serafini. Falls incomplete, and it'll bring up his third down and 1 for the Central Mount Wildcats. If they're able to make that connection, it looks like he had enough where he's going to pick up a first down, but unable to. So it's a big third down play here, and the officials are chit-chatting.
What's the conversation, boys?
Quick conversation out there, figure out what's going on. Want to give you some updated scores. We'll look to do that. As I want to remind you that the Steelers play on 100.9 The Valley. You can listen to them all season on The Valley. The Steelers head north to visit the Bills on Sunday. Pre-game show starts at 11, and the kickoff with Bill Harlgrove and Craig Wolfley starts at 100.9 The Valley. Penalty will go against the Central Mount Wildcats. So it's going to be a walked off against the Wildcats. Kind of a subdued situation going here. I feel like it's kind of a low crowd, waiting for something to get excited about here in the second quarter. Good crowd here. Beautiful night, high school football here on Eagle 107, eagle107.com, and on the SBC Sports Live YouTube channel. Direct snap to Fultz. Makes a man miss in the backfield, but he's going to go down quickly. Farinelli was the first guy in there, Finelli, but finished off by Spencer George. Lost on the play. So it's going to be now a third down and 10 here for the Central Mount Wildcats. A possession that started with a 9-yard run.
Yeah, when we said we didn't like it because it was almost a first down. Now, you know, they're probably at their worst third down situation of the night. And also 5 tackles for a loss already for this Selinsgrove defense.
It's something they've done over the years to a very high level, and as you said, it's happened again here tonight for the Selinsgrove Seals. Third down and 10. So finally going to take a timeout here. Next week, the Selinsgrove Seals will be back on the road as they'll travel to Hollidaysburg. And then after that, they'll be at Montoursville, and Selinsgrove will finish out the regular season against the Midwest Mustangs. For the Central Mount Wildcats, after tonight, they'll have 2 back-to-back road games as well, as they'll be at Garden Spot and Clearfield before they finish out the regular season, as they'll be taking on the Jersey Shore Bulldogs. Ryan, think back to the game. You said you saw Central Mount play against, was it Bloom?
Bloom. Yep. And they're down 14-0 right now to Milton.
As we keep an update on other scores going on around the valley, and looking here at our high school scoreboard on the Sunbury Broadcasting Corporation app, as Shikellami's trailing Mifflinburg 13-0. Loyalsock and Lewisburg are geared to start at 7:30. They'll get started here shortly. Danville leading Montoursville 14-0. Southern Columbia all over Central Columbia 23-0. Lime Mountain leading Halifax 14-0. Third down and 10 for the Wildcats. Drop it back as Myers, looking over the middle, gets rid of it. Got his man right at the 29-yard line. Look like give him forward progress. Looks like it'll be a first down pickup for the Central Mountain Wildcats. As making a catch was Grenier, the wide receiver junior for the Central Mountain Wildcats. It looks like they'll give him enough for a first down.
Absolutely the worst call I have ever seen by an official in high school football. He caught the ball and ran backwards, because right away in my head I'm going, where you going, dude? He ran 3 yards backwards and then was tackled. How can you give him forward momentum there? That was horrible.
Well, works out to the benefit of the Central Mountain Wildcats as they pick up a big first down, trailing 14-0 with 10:15 to go in the first half. Turn, give it to the deep man, going straight up the middle, gets a good push this time for the Wildcats. Going to take the ball to the 34-yard line, so pick up a 4 for the Wildcats and set up a 2nd down and 6.
Well, Central Mountain did get their first down of the game, but we're putting an asterisk next to it, all right?
There, you can do whatever you want.
Thank you.
Midwest trailing Mount Carmel 12-0. Jersey Shore leading Shamokin in the first quarter 7-0.
That's surprising. Only 7.
The powerhouse is Jersey Shore shown all season long. 2nd down here for the Wildcats. Blitz coming. Foltz is going to pitch it out to the deep man. Cutting it back across the grain, take it close to the 40-yard line. They're going to mark him actually back at the 38-yard line as the running back took the pitch from Myers and able to turn it upfield, as that is Serafini on the carry. So it's going to be a 3rd down and 2 for the Central Mount Wildcats, trying to get their 2nd first down of the night.
Tucker Teets stepping in there as the running back was falling forward, trying to get the first down, and he's the reason why he's a 1.5 yards short.
They'll try to come up with a big stop here. Will the Selinsgrove Seal defense? 3rd down and 2. Shotgun formation. Blitz coming by the Seals. Myers dropping back. Guess Maria is trying to get a hold of him. Is going to be able to and take him down for the sack.
Yes, Maria just coming through. Good hands. Way to hang on. Quarterback was very elusive there, but not enough. And the Seals defense getting another big play. And the field position still in Selinsgrove's favor, and that's all because of the play of their defense right now.
And forces a punting situation for the Central Mount Wildcats as Bennett will punt this one away, averaging over 35 yards a punt. Trying to get a big one here. Nick Rice is jogging back to be the return man. He's going to be standing inside of his own 40-yard line. 5 seconds on the play clock for the Wildcats. They get it away. It's a high snap. Bennett gets it and gets it away. End over end kick as Rice will take it at his own 36-yard line. Tackled immediately by Serafini. It'll go down there. Selinsgrove again, though, will have great field position as they'll have it at their own 36-yard line, leading 14-0 with 8:06 to go here in the opening half.
Oh, wave that hand, young man. Oh, man. Like that's where you want the fair catch. He avoided the big collision, but got nothing out of it. You only risk in that scenario there. You're up 14-0, playing great. Do not want to turn over there in the special teams, but hey, he hung on to it and avoided the big collision.
And gives the Seals a first down at their own 36-yard line. 1st down and 10. Fullback gets the call. That's Ethan Miller. He's going to get 9 on the carries. He takes it out to the 45-yard line, setting up a 2nd down and 1 for the Seals.
I like the way he runs. Those knees are high. He's just churning through, driving those legs. That's a tough run up the gut there from Ethan Miller.
And a great way to start this possession with the 9-yard pickup for the sophomore fullback. Bastion splits to the left. Nick Rice to the right. I formation behind Pastore. Teat dots the I. Pastore's going to look to throw. Gets rid of it. Get out to Nick Rice. Making the catch. Trying to make a man miss. Not going to be able to as he's trying to drag a defender to the 49-yard line. Looks like he'll stretch it to the 49-yard line. So it will be enough for a Seal first down. And again, they're going to mark it just inside of midfield in Selinsgrove territory. But a good play on a continuous effort by Nick Rice to pick up the first down.
Rice having a nice game. A lot of underneath stuff going to him right now, and he's catching everything. I love how quick he turns upfield. He gets his shoulders and head turned and just makes the most out of it. That time he got an extra 3 yards while dragging a guy and making other guys miss. That's just all effort right there.
And giving the Seals a big first down here. Pitch is going to go to Teets, going left. Gets a block from Ethan Miller. 2nd level. He's got one man to beat. Taking it to the right side. Up the right sideline to 10, 5, touchdown Selinsgrove Seals.
We said before the game his biggest rush of the year was like 34 yards. That one right there is definitely his longest. I wish 50 yards on the dot, man. That was a great run. He's having a fantastic first half. 3rd touchdown of the night, well over 1,000 career yards. It's his night, and you need this. This is what we said, Pat. They just need to come out and establish and be consistent, and they're doing that.
As he gets his 5th rushing touchdown of the season, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night for the junior tailback, Tucker Teets, as he takes us from 50 yards out after Selinsgrove had a good run by their receiver to pick up the first down. Not a good snap, but Nick Rice gets it down, and Carter Young booms it through for another extra point for the Seals to push their lead out to 21-0 over the Central Mountain Wildcats. Ryan, a lot of what we talked about coming in was some of the deficiencies on the offensive side. 15 out of the last 20 quarters in their last 5 games have been shut out with no points. They struggled against Shikellamy until they had a breakout fourth quarter. Also against Shamokin when they finally got their 10 points to win that one in overtime. They trailed Juniata 14-0 and finally had come from behind victory in that one. So, boy, they're trying to make up for it in this first half. 21 points for the Seals, and then now lead the Central Mountain Wildcats 21-0.
And now you just put your defense back out there and say, dominate. You've been doing it the whole game. Dominate, get this offense right back out on the field because things are working and everything's going on all cylinders. Wow, this is an impressive start by the Selinsgrove Seals.
Well, Tucker Teet's 50-yard touchdown run completes another 3-play drive covering 64 yards. Took 1 minute and 19 seconds. The extra point good, and the Selinsgrove Seals now lead 21-0. That's the Selinsgrove Ford drive summary. Carter Young has it teed up, about to kick this one away back to the Central Mountain Wildcats. Looking for backbreaker plays of the game, and boy, that could be one. A 50-yard touchdown run by Tucker Teets is a candidate for the Smoky Dam Health Center backbreaker play of the game. Return man comes up to about the 14, makes it catch, going up the right side. It's going to be taken off his feet right about the 25-yard line. Bullington able to make the stop there and gets congratulations from Ethan Miller and also Spencer George on the big stop by the sophomore Jarrett Bullington on the kickoff coverage.
They're just setting the tone right now. Selinsgrove's just playing with a completely different attitude than Central Mountain. I mean, that's a special teams hit right there. That can fire up the defense. Not that it needs it, but man, that just sets the precedent.
6:41 to go here in the first half. A first half dominated by the Selinsgrove Seals. We had talked about they had 14 total points in the first half in the last 5 games. So they surpassed that by 7, leading 21-0. Myers gets the snap, drops back, looking over the middle, gets rid of it. Intercepted, nope. In and out of the hands of Ethan Miller. As Ethan Miller went up, tried to make the catch, tried to catch it on the bobble, unable to, falls incomplete. So it'll be a 2nd down and 10 for the Central Mountain Wildcats.
You said interception a little too soon, Pat. A little too soon. If you wouldn't have said it, he would have caught it.
My fault.
That's all right.
He's had 2 great catches a week ago against Mifflinburg from his tight end position, did Ethan Miller. So he's definitely capable of making that catch, unable to get that one. It was a little high, tried to go up and get it, but it falls incomplete, and it'll set up a 2nd down and 10 for the Central Mountain Wildcats.
Central Mountain will throw the ball. They will throw it around, and we're probably going to see a lot of it here because they've been able to do nothing with the run.
Well, Myers takes off this time. He was looking downfield, couldn't find anybody as Devin Mitchell able to get it on the stop along with Caleb Hicks. There's going to be a pickup about 4. It'll be a 3rd down and 6 for the Central Mountain Wildcats. Stick around at halftime. We'll get you a scoring recap of this one. We'll get Murphy's Seals Athletic rundown, stats from our stat man, Zach Showers. We're going to give you our Linebacker Grove segment that will include an interview with how it all got started. Marlon Van Horn, the legend, and the Selinsgrove Seals' rich history of linebackers will join us at halftime. All coming up after this quarter as Selinsgrove trying to get another stop here defensively. Myers is going to take off, has a 1st down. He's going to be hit by multiple defenders before blowing back, but he does have a 1st down pickup for the Central Mountain Wildcats.
It's just heads-up play there by Myers. He saw a big gap there in the middle, and he just tucked the ball and took off. Showing some speed there, showing some heart, lowered the shoulder, and he was met by four Seals there, but it didn't matter. He fought for everything there, and hey, now a little bit of field possession here, the field positioning changing. They're at the 44-yard line, so this is the first time we've seen the Central Mountain offense at the midfield area.
Myers coming in tonight with 42 carries, just 94 yards. He's averaging 15 yards per carry, or per game, excuse me, and he does have 1 touchdown, but we're going to have a stoppage here as training staff coming out to talk to Myers after that run, and something we talked about for years, Ryan. If you take off and run, we saw at every level throughout the 2009 state championship run, we knew if they had a running quarterback or someone that's going to rely on running, it's only a matter of time before it's just too much for a quarterback to maintain when you got 5 linebackers running around making plays. And you wonder with Myers right now if he's got a little dinged up there after that run. Good run by him, but comes up a little slow.
And we've seen it. You've said it over and over again. Not just the state title year. Many years. I think about out at Altoona, the snowing day. It was a team that showed up late. Obama Prep. That quarterback was known for running around like crazy, and boy, did he take a beating that game. He didn't get very much in that game.
Absolutely, and it could be the case here tonight as backup quarterback into the game for the Central Mountain Wildcats. Handoff goes to the deep man, nothing there. Slam to the turf, Spencer George, Ethan Miller, and give credit to Logan Oath out in on the stop. It's going to be a loss on the play, loss of about 3. It'll be a 2nd down and 13 for Central Mountain after that good defensive stance by the Seals defense.
Just another tackle for a loss for this defense. I love the way Spencer George just jumped on his back. He literally jumped, landed on top of the guy, and brought him down. Very, 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 very athletic effort there by Spencer George.
Sprague is the quarterback who stepped in for Myers. Gets rid of it. Almost intercepted. Was thrown high to his intended receiver. It was Reese Feldman who tried to come up with the deflection. Unable to, and it's a 3rd down and 13 for the Wildcats.
And, you're being nice to the receiver there by saying that was high. That was right in the eyes. Hit him in the hands. You got to catch that ball. Central Mountain needs that play right there. And, hey, all he has is one guy to beat. If he catches that, he's in good position. There's no one right at him. You're in a foot race then, so that would have been a big catch and definitely some extra yardage after it, if not a huge touchdown play to get Central Mountain back into a 2-possession game, but that's not the case. Drop the ball.
As Serafini goes in motion, deep throw as Caleb Hicks is going to make the interception at the Seals 30. Turns it back the other way. He's at the 45. Into Central Mountain territory to the 45, to the 40, and there's a flag on the play as he made a cut right around the 45-yard line. The interception will stand, but on the return by Caleb Hicks, there is a flag on the play, and officials will have to meet about the call here.
Well, no pick 6 for Hicks, but what a beautiful interception by him. He actually slowed down on his man-to-man coverage there because he could tell in the release that it was going to be a little underthrown. And by slowing down, he turned around and came back at it. Then he's going the opposite direction before the offense even knew what happened. So very athletic, well played and well covered interception there by Hicks, making probably Dad pretty proud on the sideline. But I know one thing: when your dad's the coach, they usually don't give you any positive stuff. It's all criticism. Pat, you ever coach your daughter?
Many, many times.
You know any coaches that have coached their own kid?
You.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's tough.
It is tough. But Jason's done a great job being a player for you as he get ready to move into a senior season up at Milton. Pastore gets rid of it, gets out to Gavin Bastion, makes a man miss at the 47, trying to get to the sideline, and he's going to be driven out of bounds, but he gets into Central Mountain territory to the 48-yard line for Hicks. That's his 5th interception of the season and leads the way for the Selinsgrove defense in that category.
Wow, 5th interception. Those are great numbers. What's the record for interceptions in a season? Do you know, Zach?
I don't know if it's still...
5 is impressive. That's a ton.
I think Ben Reichley had 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, five in 7 weeks, that's unbelievable. And I don't want to take away from that catch and that lateral move by Bastion. That was athletic.
He's going to get another opportunity here. Making a catch, got a first down, and it's to be taken down. He stretches it to the Central Mountain 41-yard line. But as you said, Bastion, they're getting him the ball, and something we've talked about years. Last year it was about getting the ball to Brandon Heil, let him do his thing, and that's what right now you see the connection between Pastore and Gavin Bastion in this possession.
Well, the one positive thing going for Central Mountain so far in this game was Gavin Bastion wasn't involved offensively. So the worst thing that could happen to them down 21-0 is Gavin Bastian starts to get involved, and there it is, 2 catches in a row.
And he's a one-on-one here on the left. Wouldn't be surprised if they try to go that direction again. Nope, they're going to hand it off to Teets going left. Flags everywhere as Teets is going to be tackled short of the 36-yard line, but flags back at the line of scrimmage. Before this one gets started, they're going to call a false start, and it's going to go against the Selinsgrove Seals.
So that was a real quick flag right after the snap, so I knew we weren't going to see a holding. I mean, the line of scrimmage is basically right in front of us. I did not see that false start, but...
And the flag was from both sides, so it does go against the Selinsgrove Seals. It's going to be a walk-off, take away the run by Tucker Teets. They'll mark the ball back at the Central Mountain 46-yard line, so it's going to be a first down and 15 for the Selinsgrove Seals.
Honestly, the way their offense is moving right now, an extra 5 yards, I don't think it's going to stop them.
Keep this thing going. So will be still a first down after the penalty for the Selinsgrove Seals. Nick Rice splits to the right. Gavin Bastian to the left. Seals are in an I formation on this first down and 15. Pastore 5-step drop. Looking down the left sideline, looking for Gavin Bastian. Goes up, makes a catch inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. Son, you just got mossed.
Yes, you did. I mean, a little bit underthrown there as Pastore threw off the back of his heel. But, man, Bastian coming up with the big play over top of the cornerback. That's impressive. He's an athlete, man. He can do a lot of special things with his God-given ability.
32-yard pass and completion for Pastore to sophomore Gavin Bastian. It's been his possession from the receiving standpoint for the Seals. See if they continue to go his way. He's 1-on-1, far to the right. Nope, going to give it to the fullback. Ethan Miller hit the line of scrimmage. Got to tuck that ball away. He's kind of hanging out there a little bit, but he's going to get to the 11-yard line. Seals can still pick up a first down as after they get about 3 on the carry there to take it to the 12-yard line. So it'll be a second down and 7 for the Seals. They lead 21-0 with 2:11 to go here in the first half.
You know, it's always important to tuck the ball and protect the ball, but especially when you're inside the red zone looking to score here and put this game as 4 possessions. Hang on to that ball, young man.
Bastian now splits to the left. Pastore under center. Takes the snaps. Going to give it. No, fake it to Teets. Looking into the flat to his fullback. Nope, now he's got to look to Nick Rice, but it's going to fall incomplete. Fullback came out. It was Ethan Miller. Seals have actually scored on that play earlier in the season. Unable to make the connection here as Pastore then had to look for Nick Rice, but it's going to fall incomplete. It'll be a third down, and we're calling it 7, 1:48 to go in the opening half.
I like the play. I like the roll out to the strong side, play action, have a man run in the back of the end zone and at the goal line. Just a good job by Central Mountain's defense, not letting anybody too open. Made Pastore have to make a perfect throw there, and he tried, not too far out in front, but it's incomplete.
Third down and 7. Quick throw this time out to Gavin Bastian. Trying to stiff over a man at the 10. Unable to get away from him. Flags are going to come in. 2 flags are going to come in on the run and after the catch by Gavin Bastian.
I think we're going to get a face mask, Pat.
The officials will chit-chat about it. We're going to check up on our Blaze Alexander Ford Built Ford Tough game of the week as we're keeping an eye on the Danville game. And Danville taking on Montoursville. They also lead 21-0 in their game, and that's in the second quarter. As the Danville Ironmen looking to stay undefeated on the season. They're up 21-0 over the Montoursville Warriors. So that's going to go against the Central Mountain Wildcats. It'll march the ball inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line. It's going to be a first down and goal to go from the 4 for the Seals, trying to increase on their 21-0 lead here late in the first half. Again, stick around at halftime. We'll give you a scoring recap, stats from our stat man, Zach Showers, the Seals Athletic Rundown, and our Linebacker Grove segment as we'll be joined by Marlon Van Horn. Going left is Teets. Stretches to the goal line, trying to spin to, not going to get there, down close to the goal line, but as he started to extend the ball, got turned away, so it's going to be a second down and goal inside the 1 for the Seals.
1 yard away from his 4th touchdown of the night. Man, 1:12 left in the second quarter.
A man down on the field for the Selinsgrove Seals. So as the medical staff come out to check on the back down after that run. Able to run through some other scores for you of other games going on around the valley. As we first check in on the Shikellamy game, they still have it as 13-0. Shikellamy trailing Mifflinburg. Loyalsock and Lewisburg just getting underway at 7:30, and they have the game knotted up 0-0. We mentioned the Danville leading Montoursville 21-0. Southern Columbia all over Central Columbia 30-0. And then Halifax and Muncie 0-0 on that ball game. South Williamsport Milton leading Bloomsburg 14-0. That's still in the first quarter. And Canton all over Montgomery 35-0. While Mount Carmel, leading Hughesville 18-0. Midwest trailing Warrior Run 7-0.
Well, Teets was the man down, but up and off on his own power. Even seems to be walking fine. I don't see anything messed up in his stride. Maybe just a cramp or something there.
I see Rumberger's going to come into the game as the Seals will jog out. They have the ball inside the 1 yard line. They're leading 21-0. Look to add to it here. Gavin Bastion split to the left. Nick Rice to the right. Play clock is at 12. Under center is Pastore. Bastion goes in motion from left to right. Pastore's going to keep it. Pulls his way forward. Gets it into the end zone. Touchdown, Selinsgrove Seals.
That's great push by the offensive line. Pastore goes in the QB sneak untouched. That was a great push off the left side there.
Give credit to that offensive line and that possession there as the Seals able to take it down, get the score, put it in the end zone, and now Carter Young will jog out to try to kick the extra point here. Sassman does the snapping, Nick Rice the hold, and Carter Young looking to increase the Seals' lead to 28-0 with 52 seconds to go here in the first half. Good snap, hold is down, the kick is up, and it sails through, and it is good. So Mark Pastore gets himself into the end zone for the Selinsgrove Seals as he gets the 1 yard run. That 1 yard run was able to complete an 8-play drive covering 55 yards, took 3 minutes and 16 seconds. And again, Mark Pastore, the junior quarterback, is able to follow behind that good offensive line push and increase the lead for the Selinsgrove Seals to 28-0 with just 52 seconds to go here in the first half.
I don't think you could ask for a better performance right now from these Seals. They're getting it done on offense. They're throwing the ball to multiple guys. They're running the ball well, and the defense is just dominant in every sense. Even special teams, Pat, special teams as well. Blocked punt, great field position, good. They're just doing it all. I mean, this is a nightmare for Central Mountain on the road.
That 8-play, 55-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 16 seconds is the Selinsgrove Ford drive summary. Carter Young has it teed up. He'll kick this one away. Deep man for the Central Mountain Wildcats standing at their own 5-yard line. This kick is away. Return man takes it at the 10 between the hashes. Now he's out to the right side. Try to wiggle his way to the 30-yard line. Not going to make it to the 30-yard line, as he's going to be stopped there. Devin Mitchell able to make the stop on the kickoff team for the Selinsgrove Seals.
Mitchell having a heck of a game. Getting the start at tackle on defense tonight. The sophomore, he's in now 4 tackles. 1 of those tackles for a loss. Very impressive game for him. Good move by the coaching staff.
Made some changes up front, as we mentioned, and he was one of them. Devin Mitchell playing on the left side of that defense tackle. Spencer George is the remaining starter on that defensive line. He's playing on the right side. As Central Mountain comes out first down and 10. 45 seconds to play here in the first half. Seals leading 28-0. As Sprague drops back. Look at deep down the left sideline. A lot of air under this one. In and out of the intended receiver's hands. That was Foltz trying to make the catch. defended well out there, but the best pass attempt, even though it went incomplete, but a good pass attempt that time by the Central Mountain Wildcats, but it falls incomplete, and it'll be a 2nd down and 10. It was Gavison on the coverage.
Hey, Central Mountain saying there's 52 seconds left in this half. We're going to go for it. They got to try something down 28-0. I like that. I like not being too conservative there. They got to just try everything. They got to take advantage of every second on the clock, because not only are you down 28, but really you're being dominated. There's been nothing you've done in this half.
Sprague is in as the backup quarterback. He stays in. He's going to throw it out to Serafini, and he's going to slip and fall right at the 26-yard line. Loss on the play for the Central Mountain Wildcat running back. Serafini made the catch, tried to cut back, slips and falls, and it's going to be a 3rd down here for Central Mountain, as they're going to let the clock run. They don't have to run another play here. See if they do before the first half ends. Seals defense trying to pitch a shutout here in the first half, as the game clock is at 4, and it doesn't look like they're going to run another play because they're not going to have time to. So with that play, that ends the first half. Selinsgrove dominating the Central Mountain Wildcats, trying to improve to 5-2 on the season, as they lead here at halftime, 28-0 over the Central Mountain Wildcats. We come back, we give you the scoring recap of that first half. We'll get stats from our stat man, Zach Showers. We'll get Murphy Seals athletic rundown. And also, we will give our Linebacker Grove segment and be joined by Marlon Van Horn. All coming up here at halftime. Don't go anywhere. This is Selinsgrove football presented by Selinsgrove Ford on Eagle 107, eagle107.com, and on the SBC Sports Live YouTube channel.
Mark and Troy here from Zimmerman Motors.
Make This a Summer event is going on now, and we're celebrating with special pricing for everyone.
We have our best new vehicle inventory of the year, with more new arriving weekly, and they have been moving fast.
Make This a Summer event is all about the freedom to travel anywhere you want and the most versatile brands in the world.
We have the vehicle for any family adventure.
So come in and see why people have been coming from all over the region to Zimmerman's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Sunbury, and experience what we call the Zimmerman difference. Call 570-988-JEEP or visit us online at ZimmermanJeep.com.
Now that I'm buying my first home, the folks at Nori Bank have been incredibly helpful. Anytime I have questions, I've got Brenda. She's just a phone call away.
When it comes to my retirement planning, I've got Jared.
I'm ready to open a savings account for my grandson, and I've got Tim.
I've got Robin.
I've got Rose. For all of my banking needs, I've got Nori Bank.
The right people, the right solutions, the right bank. The Northumberland National Bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
With all the great vehicles out there to drive, Lyle's not always going to be in a Bronco. But when he does want a Bronco, he knows to go to blazealexander.com. With over 20 locations across Pennsylvania and thousands of cars to choose from, blazealexander.com is your one place to shop for both sales and service. So let Lyle help you fetch your next vehicle, only at blazealexander.com.
A great history here at Selinsgrove. Bill Mull, Bill Scott, and Dave Hess are being honored at halftime here at Selinsgrove Area High School. Bill Mull coached from 1967 to 1971. His career record 36-14. And then went off to Susquehanna University, where Coach Mull was credited with rebuilding the SU football fortunes in the mid-'80s. Following 7 straight losing seasons, Mull took over a program and garnered an overall record of 32-30-1. In a 7-year run, the last 4 being winning season, he was named the MAC Coach of the Year in both 1982 and 1983. Mull's teams won the MAC title in 1983 while posting an 0-1 record. Also being honored, Bill Scott, coach from 1972 to 2007, career record of 267 wins, 145 losses, and 1 tie, 11 seasons of 10 or more wins, including 7 of his last 8 years as head coach. Won the Susquehanna Valley Conference 5 times, won the Central Susquehanna Conference 9 times, including 5 straight from 2003 to 2007, won the PIAA District 4 title 9 times, and led the team to the state quarterfinals 6 times. That's Bill Scott being honored here at halftime of the Selinsgrove Seals and the Central Mountain Wildcats. Also being honored, Dave Hess. Dave coached from 2008 to 2014, was defense coordinator under Coach Scott prior to taking the head coaching position. His career record, 62 wins, 30 losses. Heartland Athletic Conference HAC 1 champion 2008, 2009. District 4 AAA champions 4 times. AAA state champion 2009. Eastern runner-up in 2008. State playoff appearances 2012 and 2014. In 2009, Coach Dave Hess was the PA Football Writers AAA Coach of the Year. Again, being honored here tonight, Bill Mall, Bill Scott, and Dave Hess. Well-deserved, the 3 guys integral to the rich history of Selinsgrove Seals football dating all the way back to 1967. Speaking of rich history, Selinsgrove has a rich history at the linebacker position, rich enough that we have deemed it Selinsgrove as Linebacker Grove. It started in the mid-'70s with Marlon Van Horn, who's Selinsgrove's all-time leading tackler with a whopping 502 career tackles. Van Horn was the all-time sack leaders with 22 until 2017 when Tony Dressler topped that record. Van Horn finished as an All-Stater in 1975, then went on to play at Maryland as a defensive lineman. We are honored to be joined by Marlon Van Horn as he's in town celebrating with his 1976 class. What a great opportunity to be a part of what's going on. Good to see the Selinsgrove Seals leading 28-0. As Marlon Van Horn, when you look at his stats, played from 1973 to 1975, 502 career tackles, which is first, 258 solo tackles, which is first, 22 career sacks, which is second, tackles in a season, 186 in 1975, 167, which is second in 1974, and 153, which ranks fifth in 1973. Solo tackles in a season, 97 in 1975, 90 in 1974, and 71 in 1973. Sacks in a season, 9 in 1975, which is 6th most by a Selinsgrove Seal. So again, we're joined by Marlon Van Horn. What a great honor to have you here. And I told you last night when we got together for our a media evening, as I got a chance to catch up with you, talk to you, meet you in person for the first time. What a great honor. And I'm just very privileged to have you here and talk a little bit about yourself and about this rich history of Selinsgrove. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Pat. I can only say I don't remember doing all those things, but now that you mention it, it sure sounds good. But this is a great place. Rich history in football. It's great to be back with my class for a reunion, and the facilities here are just amazing compared to when I played here, and very proud to be a Seal. Very proud.
Well, and one thing worth mentioning on here, when you look at the stats, it's for 3 years. It's something you talked about last night that you did not play as a freshman.
Right. Freshmen did not play really back in those days. When I went to Maryland, I was able to be on a freshman class in Maryland because at that time I just started playing freshman in college. So I was able to play 4 years there. You know, I would have played 9 years here if I could have, just because my high school experience in this town was phenomenal. People here are just they're just great people, and I'm just blessed to have grown up here.
Well, every time we bring up Marlon Van Horn, it's a lot to do with all the statistics that we just read off and all the accomplishments there. But you didn't just play football. You also were a star on the track, and not to mention, you dominated on the wrestling mat as well.
Well, I couldn't enjoy any sport. I mean, I just loved it. I'm sorry, I just enjoyed every sport, and I embraced it. And to be honest with you, today a lot of athletes, they focus on one sport, which is fine. But back in those days, I mean, we were small enough school that I really needed to participate in 3 sports. But wrestling was my I only wrestled for 3 years, but it was a joy of mine, and we had phenomenal wrestling here. We were always fighting for the championship. Track, I mean, what do I say? I never lost a track meet. Jim Taylor built a heck of a program here, and I was just privileged to be a part of that. The javelin, shot, and disc. Javelin was my specialty, and I was able to do some pretty special things in the javelin, and then the shot and disc were things I did for the team to score, but I was really more of a specialist in the javelin, and I look across this field and I see where I broke the national record as a freshman, and I can see the javelin flying over the stadium right now. It's like I said, just a lot of great moments, wrestling, track, and football, and I was blessed. I had great coaches, I had great mentors, we didn't win championships in football, but we were always right in it. We just didn't have the teams back in those days, but we competed very hard. Every game, they knew we were there.
Yeah.
And they said linebacker Grove, I guess you call it. I just loved playing that position. It was just every moment of it was you felt like you had your finger on the pulse. If you read the defense, they read your defensive calls, and then, when they came up there, it happened. I think back on when I played sports, I was a fortunate person because it was very natural to me. And so I would react to things and not even remember doing it.
Yeah.
So anyhow, it's a pleasure meeting you last night as well.
We're talking to Marlon Van Horn, and also had a chance to talk with Ryan Brand as well last night, and just a good. I know we were talking about it all night about just how a great experience it was last night.
Being a former, Selinsgrove SEAL, being a part of alumni in sports, I mean, like, especially track and field and stuff you see in the stat books. Everyone's always talked about the man, the myth, the legend, Marlon Van Horn. I never met the guy. I was joking around with him last night of the story of the legend of Marlon Van Horn. Once punched a hole through a cow just to see what was on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, this guy, the name, and I'm like, I've never met him. I don't even know if he's even in the United States anymore. You know what I mean? But, boy, you always knew that name. You always heard the stories. And, small world, George Kravitz and I are out having dinner last night. You text me because you knew I was with him, and Marlon was talking about, that's got to be one of the mentors you're talking about.
Yep,
great guy.
Absolutely.
And, we come over. We meet you at the pub. We said, we're coming. And, man, I'm just sitting there going, there's a lot of history here right now. Jim Taylor, Marlon Van Horn. We got Kathy Kaiser, George Kravitz. And I'm going, Dave Lauer. We met Charlie Kahns. Like, man, there is a lot of names here that you've heard. I've never got to see the faces. And, boy, that was awesome to watch. What was that like for you last night, just with all the greats?
I always enjoy, I always say this, people always say you miss the games, you miss the bowl games, you miss the games. I miss the guys. I miss my coaches. I miss my teachers. I mean, when it's all said and done, that's what it's all about. And the game, it just happens to be a stage you're on, and you're put there because of all these people that help you get to that point. And I was blessed to have all those people, and I saw some of them last night. You were with me.
Yep.
You were with me. We're all together, and when I'm with those people, I'm the happiest in the world. And so
it shows.
I'm glad you were able to get a glimpse of that. There's a bunch of other things we could spend weeks and days, but Jim still says I owe him money because
he made you pay last night.
He made me pay last night. And that's not unusual, by the way.
Yeah, I had the way he said it. It sounded as if my wife was saying, hey, "Don't forget to pay for this."
It's not unusual, but I do owe him a lot.
Yes.
And we talk about Jim Taylor and had a great time interviewing him at the last home game. Don't want to overlook the wrestling coach that you had.
Yep.
Talk a little bit about your wrestling coach and the impact, and how much does wrestling impact the ability to play football, especially defense or on the linebacker?
So Smoker was, and Tommy Thompson were. Wrestling is one of those sports. There's really not much you can't hide. You're there, and it's muscle on muscle, skin on skin. And when I did that, it was, I think it was not the toughest sport, but it was one of those sports that you got to love it. Okay, you just don't go out and wrestle because it's like, hey, let's go wrestle, right? No, it's not like basketball, which is fine. But I will tell you this, what wrestling did for me, when I was playing football at high school or college, when someone would come up to me and they would hit me off balance, which happens all the time. You know, I was playing mostly nose tackle in college, and you know, when they tried to get me off balance, wrestling was always there. I always knew how to settle down, get my balance, collect myself. But wrestling was one of those things that you got to know your body, because there's not a ball. You're leaning up and you're pressing against somebody else's weight. And that's really what it's all about when you're in the trenches, and you have 3 people hitting you sometimes, and they're not all hitting you from the same direction. So wrestling helped me build that stamina and leverage. Leverage is really important when you're down there, because you know, I played against, you know, everybody. You know, when I played in college, I played against some of the best pros that played in the NFL, and so I had to have great balance. And wrestling was more of a tool for me, because it wasn't something I did a long time, but it was a great equalizer when I needed to use it. Yeah. And so I leaned on wrestling and football, no doubt.
Talking to Marlon Van Horn here at halftime. Selinsgrove leading on this homecoming evening over to Central Mount Wildcats, 28-0. So let's spin it to what we're watching here tonight. You know, off to a 28-0 lead. Selinsgrove has struggled to run the ball, struggled to get movement up front. What's your take on what you've seen tonight?
So I tell you, I've been very impressed with the receiver catching the football. They've got a couple really good skilled kids. You know, I think they've played pretty decent on defense. They're playing a 3-man front, which I don't like. I'd rather get 4 men down. I'd rather have 4 guys that can hold the line. But, you know, when you're playing a 3-5, I mean, you're really depending on those linebackers to make a tackle 2 yards downfield in some cases, because you got 5 or 6 people on those 3, so you're giving up 2 yards, but you're not going to get, you know, out of position as much. So I'm not a fan of the 3-5. I played at wide tackle 6 in college, which forced people to have to throw the football. So, but I think they have a lot of quickness. Jim and I were sitting together, and a couple of receivers made some fine catches, and the quarterback, you know, got banged up a little bit. That's what happens when you run downfield. You take your chances with guys like me, and I like guys that serve it up like that. So I'm not a fan of my quarterback running, but I like the other quarterbacks running. But so, you know, I think that the kicking game has been a huge part. Their kicking game has struggled. We blocked the punt. We put a lot of pressure on them. So field position for us has been really good in the first half.
Absolutely. Off to a 28-0 lead. Talking to Marlon Van Horn. Again, something last night we talked about was the impact of the community, impacting people around you, and what have you done with your opportunity? And I'm sure you're looking to try to carry on that torch of other people showing you the way.
Yeah, I took the confidence that I got from this town. I took it on to college, and then, you know, I unfortunately or fortunately, I'm not sure how to take this, but my senior year I got a pretty bad knee injury, but fortunately I was able to get a degree at University of Maryland, and I was in the engineering and school, which actually started me down the computer industry, and got in early on the computer industry in 1981, and I was able to carve out a nice niche for me, and working on some of the best projects in the world with the United States government. And so I kind of made my home in Rockville, Potomac, Maryland for 40 years. And I was very fortunate to be in that industry. And while I was in that industry, I did help a lot of other people get into the industry that I knew, because I knew it would be a good place for them to be. And you know, my wife and I try to help a lot of organizations to try to give back. And, you know, that's been what we've been trying to do, whether it's, Jesuit schools or whatever in our area that we believe in. But I have so much to be fortunate to be given to me, and also people have helped me get to where I am. I have to give back. I have to give back to that, and so we try to get ourselves involved. We do things at our my daughter's high school with philanthropic stuff when I can, and I've been fortunate to do that. So I always, it always, for some reason, feels better to give than receive. I don't know why it is that way, but it always does.
Well, we're going to take a break. Don't go anywhere as the teams have taken the field. Get ready for the second half. Selinsgrove leading 28-0. We'll be right back with more from Marlon Van Horn and the Selinsgrove Seals. This Selinsgrove football presented by Selinsgrove Ford on Eagle 107 at eagle107.com.
Buy the best pre-owned vehicle from the area's #1 certified pre-owned Ford dealer, Selinsgrove Ford. Selinsgrove Ford at the bridge in Selinsgrove and at selinsgroveford.com. The Sunbury Motor Company.
Austin Martin, Kia Elite Sales Consultant, Maranatha Christian School.
Amber Wren, Certified Hyundai and Lincoln Sales Consultant, Selinsgrove Area High School.
Ian Chakosky, Certified Ford Sales Professional, Mount Carmel and Shamokin area.
Christopher Stengline, Ford Certified Sales Consultant, Selinsgrove Area High School.
Tom Mertz, fourth generation owner, Sunbury Motor Company, Shikellamy High School.
A tradition of trust since 1915.
Now that I'm buying my first home, the folks at Nori Bank have been incredibly helpful. Anytime I have questions, I've got Brenda. She's just a phone call away.
When it comes to my retirement planning, I've got Jarrett.
I'm ready to open a savings account for my grandson, and I've got Tim.
I've got Robin.
I've got Rose. For all of my banking needs, I've got Nori Bank.
The right people, the right solutions, the right bank. The Northumberland National Bank. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Back at halftime here at Harold L. Bullock Memorial Field. Again, Selinsgrove leading 28-0. Both teams have returned to the field for second half warm-ups. And before we let you go, not only on the football field, wrestling mat, track, but also you were a main part of a very famous theater production. We learned that last night.
Thanks
what another
to
great
George
story.
Graphics, we know this.
Yeah, and I think our listeners need to hear a little bit about that.
So
with the limited time that we have.
So Pat, I won't be on this topic very long. But let's just say that I was some of my friends needed some help, and let's just say acting was never my strong suit. But there was a role in one of the plays that I think it was my senior year. And George Kravitz just didn't really have a good way to go up to someone and ask them to play this part. And it was, you needed someone to play the ugly girl in a play. And basically what George said is, listen, I thought about this for a few minutes, but I can't ask anybody to do it. So then he quorumed with a few people and said, I wonder if Marlon would do it.
Of course he would.
Of course, I said, well, what got you thinking about me with respect to ugly girls? And so he said, well, it was a shot, and I took it. And he coerced me to do it, and I did it. And I'll be honest with you, it was a great experience. We packed the place, and I was just a small part of it, but the part I had, I guess, was quite interesting. But life is about different things that you do, and I think the diversity in your life can add a lot to it. So I look back and I laugh at that. I don't talk about it, and but it does show that guys like me can have a softer side of the life. So.
Hey, I heard that. I heard that exact story, but there was only one difference. I was told you volunteered.
No. I didn't go looking for that. No, I did not.
Well, we're ready for the second half. Marley, couldn't be more honored to have you up, and glad that we met you last night through Jim Taylor, of course, as the Selinsgrove looking for the return here. Nick Rice, you talked about him already. Athletic, going to get up to the left side, still going, hit it about the 44, and a late flag's going to come in. You would think it's going to go against the Seals, but again, honored to have you here. Glad you could come up. Enjoy the rest of the festivities. How did the golf game go today?
It went well. We played extremely well. I just didn't see the award yet.
You have another shot tomorrow, right?
Have a shot tomorrow, and my golfing buddies, I'll see you early in the morning.
And the last thing I'm going to say, best compliment I ever heard. You told me I outkicked my coverage with my wife. So I said, I appreciate that. That brought smiles to her face.
And that's the truth, by the way.
Yeah, and you're not the only person ever to say that.
Go Seals. Go Seals.
Marlon Van Horn checking in as part of our segment, Linebacker Grove. You started it all back. Linebacker Grove. Don't ever forget that. You're ever back in town, check in with us. Love seeing you. Thank you, Jim Taylor.
Thanks, Coach.
If it wasn't for you, all this wouldn't have happened in so many ways. So we appreciate that. Thank you. Last thing Jim says is he owes him a lot, and he's willing to admit that. Thanks again, Marlon Van Horn. Selinsgrove get the ball after the penalty, back inside their own 35-yard line, straight up the middle, got some room. As that's Parody gets the call, it's going to get 9, maybe 10 on the carry to start the second half and pick up close to a first down. Take a look at stats here for the first half. Selinsgrove 8 first downs, 99 yards rushing, 72 yards passing for 171 yards, and also 3 penalties for 20 yards, no turnovers in that first half. For the Central Mount Wildcats, just 2 first downs, 23 yards rushing, 12 passing for just 35 total yards, and they did throw an interception in that first half, picked off by Caleb Hicks. This is going to Parody off the right side. Big block by Bullington into the second level to the 30, the 20. Outrun one more man to the goal line. Touchdown for the Selinsgrove Seals.
Man, Pat, it is not a good day to be from Central Mountain or on that Central Mountain football team. Garrett Parody, nice long stride. Well, he really strides out his run and just pulled away. But give a ton of credit to the receivers and the offensive line there. Beautiful blocking. He goes untouched. He just has to be fast. Think fast, run fast. Chad Powers right there. The inner Chad Powers there for Garrett Parody.
Takes it in for the score as he's filling in for Tucker Teets. As Tucker Teets is here on the sideline with no helmet on at this point. He did go down in that first half. Keep an eye on his potential return. Kick is up, and the extra point is good. So Carter Young stays perfect on the night to push the Selinsgrove lead out to 35-0 with 11:07 here in the third period. What a big way to start the second half for the Selinsgrove Seals after they led 28-0 at halftime, and they're able to again put a quick score on the board and push the lead to 35-0. Good job by senior running back Garrett Parody.
Man, what a halftime interview. I can't tell you how many times I've heard stories or even told the stories myself like I was there in the 70s about Marlon Van Horn. I mean, just an unbelievable special person that has come through Selinsgrove and made his mark, like not just in sports, but people talk so highly of him. Dave Hess talked so highly of him, not just as a player, but as a person, and you see it. I mean, when you're around him, you feel it. Like you're ready to go to battle. You feel like he's a leader. What a great interview there.
Marlon Van Horn as he ignited the Selinsgrove rich history at the linebacker position, and again, we are honored to have him as part of our segment of Linebacker Grove here at Selinsgrove Area High School. Garrett Parody is able to do it on the offensive side, a 58-yard touchdown run for the Seals as Carter Young will kick this one away. Return man's going to get it to 10, goes with the reverse, fakes it this time. Now going all the way from right to left, trying to get outside the numbers up the sidelines. Got some room to the 30, 35, still going before blown out of bounds. Right in front of us by Ethan Miller. Looks like they'll mark him about the 30, maybe the 42-yard line. So good return that time by Central Mountain to give them good field position. But right now they see themselves trailing 35-0 after a 2-play drive that covered 67 yards, just 45 seconds off the game clock, and finished off by that 58-yard touchdown run by Parody. And it came with 11:07 to go in the third period. That's the Selinsgrove Ford drive summary.
Ethan Miller, nice tackle there, diving. He doesn't get it there. They might respond with a kickoff return. But Ethan Miller showing great athletic ability and speed.
Take a look at the rest of those stats here in one moment after this first down play for Central Mountain. Sprague's going to take the snap. Rolling to his right, being chased by Mitchell. Mitchell forces him to get rid of it, and it's incomplete. Will bring up a second down and 10. Looking at the individual numbers, Myers for Central Mountain before getting injured was 4 for 5 for just 14 yards. Sprague came in. He's 1 for 4 for -2 yards. Receiving court, Greninger has 1 catch. Foltz has 3. In the rushing department, Myers 5 carries, 20 yards. Serafini 6 carries for 5 yards. Noon 1 for -1, and Foltz 2 for -2. A dominating defensive performance by the Selinsgrove Seals after the second down and 10 play. We'll run down individual numbers for the Selinsgrove Seals. There's going to be a flag on the play, so let's do it right now. In the rushing department, Tucker Teets 8 carries, 84 yards, and 3 touchdowns in that first half. Pastore 6 for 10, 72 yards. His main target, Bastian and Rice, and no surprise there. Bastian 4 catches, 49 yards. Rice 3 catches for 23 yards. Again, Selinsgrove led at halftime, 28-0. They get a quick score by Garrett Parody to start the second half. They now lead 35-0 over the Central Mountain Wildcats. After the penalty there, it's going to be first down and 15. Handoff goes from left to right. On the carry that time was Noon. Not much there, maybe 2 yards. That's going to be it. It'll be a second down, or excuse me, third down, and we'll say 13 for Central Mountain.
Yep, defense is doing what they do. Push Central Mountain backwards, and everything clicking right now for the Seals. And nothing slowed down at halftime, apparently, with Garrett Parody taking that big 58-yard run. Defense now coming out here and just continuing what they did in the first half. This is a mercy rule game, Pat, and it was a mercy rule game 1 minute into the third quarter.
Shotgun formation is Sprague rolls to his right, gets it to his tight end, making the catch, but blown up as he tried to get to the 40-yard line. On the catch that time was Person, but he is unable to get much there after making the catch, tackled at the 40-yard line, so this is going to be a fourth down and 12 for the Central Mountain Wildcats.
Number 26. Number 4 for Selinsgrove there, Forrest Hicks, and 26, Devin Mitchell. Again, we're saying the sophomore's name quite a bit tonight. Both guys doing a nice job flying to the ball and limit it to a 1-yard gain. So Devin Mitchell, first start there, defensive tackle. He is all over the place tonight.
Using that speed, maybe a bit undersized at that defensive tackle position, but you tell what Coach Hicks wanted, a little more speed. Punting situation here for Central Mountain. Bennett gets it away. End over end kick. It's going to sail down the right sideline and be spotted down about the Seals' 25-yard line. And that is where Selinsgrove will take over. First down and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Trying to see who they have coming out in the field here for the Seals offense as far as the skilled positions. Being up 35-0, second possession of the third, sometimes this is where you start to see the substitutions.
Let's see if that's the route they go here in the second half. Again, great way to start when you're trying to think of that is to get another touchdown. Any coach will say you go into halftime leading as they did 28-0, you come out, you get a quick touchdown to push it to 35. Boy, that just sets things up for the remainder of this one as Pastore's going to get the snap. Going to the right, gives it to Gesmaria, trying to bounce it to the outside, cuts under defender, but he's going to be tackled there. Serafini on the stop for the Central Mountain Wildcats. Short pickup there for the Seals. It'll be a second down. We're going to call it about 6 after maybe a 4-yard pickup. So a good run that time. Slow developing, but 4 yards picked up. Second down and 6 for the Seals.
Yeah, just trying to get the block out there, trying to be patient as a running back. And cuts underneath the block, picks up a couple yards. So good, patient, smart running there by Gesmaria.
35-0 lead for the Seals. Second down play here for the Seals with 7:25 to go in the third quarter. Dominating performance by the Seals defense and also on the offensive side.
Looked like the line jumped there unless the defense made some noises there. I know the defense can step towards it, can't make any noise. But it's going to be on the Seals offense there for a false start.
It will go against the Seals there. That'll push the ball back after the penalty. We're looking for Schmokendam Health Center backbreaker plays of the game throughout the night. Give you candidates for those, and during our post-game show, we will let you know what the Schmokendam Health Center backbreaker play of the game is. The run by Parody is now a candidate for the Schmokendam Health Center backbreaker play of the game. Handoff's going to go to Bullington this time. He's able to drag a defender to the 29-yard line. Well short of a first down, as they'll spot it about the 29-yard line. So it'll be a third down and 7 for the Seals to try to keep this possession alive. Clock running with 6:43 to go in the third. Next week, Seals will be on the road to take on Hollidaysburg. Not familiar with Hollidaysburg, but we'll take a week to prepare for that, as the team will. But first things first here is the Seals lead 35-0 over the Central Mountain Wildcats, the winless Wildcats. It's going to go to Gus Maria, second level. He's got quickness, speed. He's into Central Mountain territory to the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown for the Selinsgrove Seals.
No flags on the field. That's a touchdown, people. Man, Gus Maria, fourth back technically of the night with a touchdown if you count the QB keeper. And he might have shown the best speed we've seen tonight. Wow, wheels. I mean, the safety had the pursuit angle. He just didn't have the speed. Gus Maria taking it to the house. Selinsgrove absolutely dominating.
You look at Gus Maria coming in tonight, only 2 carries for 8 yards. 8 was his longest, so he's able to cash it in on the long touchdown run to increase Selinsgrove lead. To look to add to it here. Carter Young trying to stay perfect on the night. Waiting for the snap. Good snap. Down, kick is up, and sails through the upright, and it is good. So the Selinsgrove Seals get on the board again. This time it was Gus Maria, as he's able to finish off a 4-play drive covering 76 yards, taking 1 minute and 53 seconds. The extra point by Carter Young is good, and it's now a 42-0 lead for the Selinsgrove Seals. Again, Gus Maria taking it from 71 yards out, topping the touchdown prior to that was 58 yards by Parody, by taking it 71 yards for the run. And again, the extra point good. Selinsgrove leads with 6:13 to go here in the third quarter, 42-0. That's the Selinsgrove Ford drive summary.
How many rushing TDs now is that on the night? We're at 6. 6 rushing TDs on the night. Wow. 3 of them from Tucker Teets alone. I doubt we will see him anymore. And, you know, the backups are doing a pretty good job, I'd say, here to start the second half.
That's Gus Maria's first touchdown of the season, as he's able to take it 71 yards. He got to the second level, and boy, just turned it on. Outran the angle of the safety to take it in for the score, as Carter Young will tee this one up. As Central Mountain will look to get the ball back on offense, trailing 42-0 with 6:13 to go in the third quarter. The return guys standing at inside their own 10, about the 5-yard line. Kickoff is away, sailing down the left sideline, going to be picked up there by the return man at the 5. He's at the 15. Crosses the 15, trying to get to the 20-yard line. Well, Selinsgrove has moved into the second half of the season. A lot of the fall sports are making pushes for postseason action. And each week, we check in with Murphy O'Brien as she gives us our Seals athletic rundown.
The boys brought home third place. Field hockey beat Lewisburg 2-1 to avenge the earlier season loss. They also had a big win over Danville. Boys soccer beat Midwest 5-3 and also beat Jersey Shore. On Thursday, they beat Wilkes. This is their 500th program win. Congratulations. Girls soccer had a tough loss to Montoursville, but they bounced back to beat Shamokin. This is Murphy O'Brien. Join me each week for the Seals Athletic Rundown on Eagle 107 and Eagle107.com.
Thank you for Murphy for providing that Seals Athletic Rundown. We do it each week because we like to recognize all the other things going on, all the other action happening throughout the fall. And as you heard, soccer teams having a great year. They get their 500th career victory in the program history. So congratulations to them. They're having an outstanding soccer season, are the boys soccer. So congratulations to them. But again, we do that each week, try to give you the rundown of other games going on around the Selinsgrove Area School District. First run that time by Central Mountain, a 9-yard pickup. First down here, up the left sideline, running away from defenders. Reese Feldman not able to make the stop as the runner gets into Selinsgrove territory that time on the run. That's Jake Weaver, and he's going to pick up a big first down and a big run for the Central Mountain Wildcats all the way to the Selinsgrove 44-yard line.
By far the best play of the night for the Central Mountain offense. And basically they just got the edge, and running back showed some speed, broke a couple tackles, and Central Mountain now switching the field position. Is this the first time they've crossed the 50?
Nah.
No?
They haven't been there many times, but definitely
Second
not
time?
the first time. Yeah. Just being official. But they do get across, so it's now first down and 10. It's going to be Weaver again. He's going right, gets a good block. Going to be tackled from behind by Dressler. He makes the stop. He was able to jump on the back of Weaver until he eventually went to the turf. Tackle on the play, but an 8-yard pickup for the Central Mountain Wildcats, set up a second down and 2.
And here they are continuing now. 2 big positive plays in a row for the Central Mountain offense. Clock is moving fast here in the Mercy Rule game, being up 42-0, but one positive here. You know, we've always said this in the past, Pat, whether we're getting beat pretty good or beaten pretty good, this is where the younger guys, though, can get some playing time, get better. This is where you work on some things to continue to get better, especially late in the season here as you're preparing for postseason, as Selinsgrove would be right now.
We'll take a look at some of those guys you're talking about. See Wyatt Teets is checked into the game, playing the right corner position. Also, Reese Feldman playing corner on the left side. See Jack Carpenter has come into the game for the Seals, number 64, 6'4", 197-pound sophomore defensive tackle for the Seals. We talked about Dressler. He's into the game, too, for the Seals. That's Logan Dressler, just a freshman. Number 19, come in playing a linebacker position. That's Mason Dressler. So the Dressler boys have made their way on the field under the Friday night lights, get an opportunity to make some plays on the defensive side. Sprague, quick throw this time, looking for his tight end, unable to make the connection there as Holtzapfel, who's come into the game, was closely on the coverage along with Feldman. 55 in the game for the Seals on defensive side. Tegan Menier playing the nose tackle position. So like you said, great to see guys get an opportunity to get out there on the Friday night lights, get themselves onto the huddle video and get the coaches watching them. Who knows, they may see something that propels you an opportunity to get into the game early in the contest. So make the most of the opportunity, are these guys right now. Sprague turns, hands it off to Weaver. Actually number 20 this time on the carry. That's Noon, straight between the tackles, enough for a Central Mountain first down on the run as he saw a big hole and was able to take advantage of it to pick up the first down.
Derek Holtzapfel, though, making a nice tackle after the first down, wrapping him up, make sure he doesn't get any more.
It's at Skylar Stone Road, number 66, looks like playing linebacker on the left side there for the Seals. Gus Maria stays there on the defensive side after the long touchdown run. So again, a lot of different numbers getting out, getting an opportunity here. Dressler on the stop the last play. Sprague turns, gives the Noon again between the tackles. Holtzapfel able to gather him up and take him down inside the 15, about the 14-yard line. So it's going to pick up about 5, maybe 4 when they spot it down. So it'll be a second down and 6 for the Central Mountain Wildcats.
That was a low snap there. Good job by the Central Mountain quarterback to hang on to that. And then they hand it off, get a positive play. Holtzapfel, like you said, again, 2 tackles in a row, 2 solo tackles.
So it'll set up that second down play here. After this play, take a look at some of the other scores going on around the valley. Shotgun formation for Sprague. Turn, give it to Noon between the tackles. Got some room. Dressler's going to make the hit at the 10-yard line as Noon will fall to the 9. Looks like they're having short of a first down, about a half yard. It'll be a third down and 1 for the Central Mountain Wildcats, who at this point is trailing 42-0 with 1:10 to go here in the third.
You know Those starting defensive players right now want to stop right here on 3rd and 1. They do not want this Central Mountain offense to get any points. This could be the last play of the quarter as we're winding down to about 50 seconds.
Central Mountain pops out of the huddle, send 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Shotgun formation for Sprague. He's going to keep it. Design run, trying to pop it to the outside. And Dressler's going to make it a trifecta on stops as he makes another tackle there. Holtzapfel involved in it as well. Been very active from those linebacker position is Dressler and Holtzapfel.
I was just going to say the same thing. Those 2 guys, seems like every offensive play here in this possession, they've been involved in a tackle, just flying the ball, wrap it up, bring guys down. Central Mountain looks like they're going to try and get one more play off here. I think they have to with the play clock. It's like a half-second difference right now.
Yeah, the play clock is at 10, while the game clock, just about a half-second difference. Sprague in a shotgun again. 4th down and 1. Turn, give it to Weaver this time, and he's going to fall forward and be close to the sticks. It'll be a matter of a spot here, and officials will take a good look at this as that's the final play of the 3rd period as Selinsgrove has increased their lead to 42-0 over the Central Mountain Wildcats. We're going to flip sides of the field and still haven't gotten word on whether it's a first down or not for the Central Mountain Wildcats. We'll find out after this break. As this Selinsgrove football presented by Selinsgrove Ford on Eagle 107, eagle107.com, and on the SBC Sports Live YouTube channel.
Buy the best pre-owned vehicle from the area's #1 certified pre-owned Ford dealer, Selinsgrove Ford. Selinsgrove Ford at the Bridge in Selinsgrove and at selinsgroveford.com.
Platinum Central PA is open its 6th location in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Come see us in Carlisle, Mechanicsburg, Harrisburg, Lancaster, Selinsgrove, and now Hershey, PA. Take a test drive and be automatically registered to win a brand new 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage, or visit creditpa.com today and apply for credit. Come on, Central Pennsylvania, you already know. Platinum, baby. We get you.
Welcome back to Harold L. Bolig Memorial Field. Pat O'Brien, Ryan Brandt, Zach Showers, and Rick Erdman, our producer. As Selinsgrove leading at 42-0 as we move into the 4th quarter, and they're able to stop. What I'm still chit-chatting about here is it looked like they were able to stop Central Mountain. We weren't getting any official signaled by the referees, so I have a hard time here.
It did look like they were a yard short, though. I didn't think it was even that close. And there's been no arguments. It still says 4th and 2.
Well, that we know it's not.
Now, what are they? They're shifting a bunch of guys in, but Selinsgrove offense out there?
I think they're both offenses were on the field.
That's hilarious.
I'll tell you, that's because nobody knew what the official call was.
Well, run offense against offense.
Yeah, I mean,
put both centers should hang onto the ball, and it can be like a tug of war for the hike. And
rugby.
whoever gets, we just invented a new sport.
Yeah, there you go. You got to get Marlon Van Horn as
the
snapper.
I'm not playing against him. He can be on my team.
Well, he always liked his quarterback not running, but loved when the other did.
We heard that.
Yeah. So I think we officially said it's Selinsgrove ball.
Yep. At least they handed it off. I mean, I would assume it's our ball.
Well, you said maybe they struggled for it. So it is Selinsgrove ball. Got nothing on that first down play there. Now we really got some new numbers and names in there. We'll try to run them down for you as Jake Bettle is checked in at the quarterback position. He's going to get the call from Coach Mike on the sidelines, making his way out onto the field. Number 81 in there, that's Stutter, Carlos Stutter. He's a sophomore at 5'9", 142 pounds. Number 78 into the game for the Seals. That's Reese Getz, 6 foot, 254-pound sophomore. One wide receiver splits far to the right, one to the left. Bettle's going to turn. Going to be hit, spins back the other way, go down quickly at about the 6-yard line. Looked like a mix-up in the backfield that maybe quarterback went one way, the running back went the other, and ends up on a loss on the play. C72 in the game for the Seals, and that's Griffin Voss. He's just a freshman at 5'6", 228 pounds. 77, Travis Reed, 6 foot, 232 pound sophomore, into the game, playing on the right side of that Seals offensive line. Max Mauer's going to run on the field like maybe they were a player short, but this handoff's going to go to the deep man. He's turned back at the 10 after it looks like he's able to stretch it to the 11-yard line. Trying to the number 25 on the carry that time. That's Brett Rice. Gets the carry for the Seals, leading 42-0 here in the fourth quarter with a running clock with 10:13 to go.
And did you say 81 was out there, Studer?
Yep.
Saw him out there. They got a whole bunch of new guys in there. Rice in the wrong position. He should be a receiver with that name, just like his brother.
Somehow they made him mix up and put him in the backfield. The punt's going to get away for Carter Young. Good high punt, driving the return man back to his own 49-yard line. He's going to take off, steps out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Ryan Gabson on the stop for the Selinsgrove Seals punt team. So the Central Mountain will take over at their Seals 49-yard line, trailing 42-0. Next week, we'll take this on the road as we will travel to Hollidaysburg, and Selinsgrove Seals will take on Hollidaysburg with the pregame starting at 6. Derek Hicks pregame show interview at 6:30 and a kickoff at 7 here on Eagle 107. Eagle107.com on the SBC Sports Live YouTube channel.
Gavison, another tackle. He's got 4 tonight. You said his first start tonight at safety, correct?
Correct.
So he's had a nice game as well. I mean, Selinsgrove defensive stats are not like gonna knock your socks off, but that's only because there hasn't been a whole lot of offensive plays by Central Mountain. But Gavison's got 4 tackles. I'd say Ethan Miller probably leading the way there. He looks like he's got at least 3 tackles for a loss. He's looking like 8 tackles total. He's probably leading the way for that defense.
Sprague takes the snap, gives off to jet sweep as the receiver was going from left to right as the handoff went to Garrison Lucas.
81 Studer in on the tackle.
He's going to get 9 on the carry. It'll be a 2nd down and 1 after the run by Lucas. Update some scores. Mifflinburg leading Chickalimby 21-0 at halftime. Loyalsock shutting Lewisburg out at halftime 26-0. And our Blaze Alexander Ford Built Ford Tough game of the week. Danville leading Montoursville 35-0. Sprague gets the snap. Handoff goes to the deep man, going off to the left, Serafini. He's going to pick up a 1st down, get inside the 35-yard line, down to the 34-yard line. So it'll be a 1st down and 10 for the Central Mountain Wildcats.
That's a nice move there by Serafini. He got everyone on that, planted his foot, good lateral movement. Very athletic run there.
So brings up 1st down and 10 for the Wildcats inside Selinsgrove 35-yard line at the 34-yard line. Shotgun formation for Sprague. Got one back in the backfield with him. Man goes in motion. Turn, gives it to the deep man. Straight up the middle, that's Noon, as he's going to get inside the 30, down close to the 28-yard line. This homecoming night, Ryan, 2022 homecoming, and very proud of my daughter Murphy that she was able to take the role of reading off the homecoming court here at before the game. Did a wonderful job, and so much so that Ray Moyer thought that maybe I should take some credit for granting her that ability, but I'm going to put that all on her. She did a very good job. Great job here tonight. She was very involved in festivities as her role as the president of the student council, so very proud of my daughter Murphy and all her accomplishments.
Very smooth delivery tonight, and that's not easy, especially for a high school student.
Sprague's going to go off to the right this time, dragging the defender to the 25, and that's where he's going to go down there. Is that Jack Peters in on the stop, trying to get a number there? Nope, Jack Carpenter gets the stop for the Seals after the short pickup by Sprague. But, yeah, exactly. I mean, that was the big thing, is to be able to do it in front of the crowd here on the PA. Everyone wanted to hear it, but very smoothly done. And I know Teresa and I are very proud of her stepping up and getting that done. Even Bill Sapala said, I'll do some of it if you want me to. And she said, nope, I'll handle it and I'll take it. So she did a great job, and I'm very proud.
And people don't know this, but all her papers that she had to read off of were soaking wet by like 5:30. She did everything she could to get those things dry up so she could read them. So that definitely had some mishaps for her before that. And speaking of mishaps, Central Mountain with like 12 guys in motion there, and you're only supposed to have 11 guys on the field, so that's a bad one.
So we called timeout, but So, yeah, they, like you said, that she had the papers all ready to go, and somehow it got placed underneath like a cooler or something, or some kind of bucket or something. It got.
Who would do that?
So she called me and said, "Wait till I show you what happened." And like you said, it's within, an hour of the time that's all. She was going to rewrite everything and decided that she wasn't going to do that, let it air out a little bit. And I think at the last minute she was bailed out with another copy of it by the teacher to give it to her. But yeah, I mean,
I just would have canceled all of the homecoming ceremony and been like, sorry, the papers are wet.
Just move it to next week at Hollidaysburg.
You're not happy with this. Find the person that put him underneath the cooler. You can blame that person. But Murphy, being a better person than I am, prevailed.
And that's thankfully to Teresa. She's the one who sets the standard about being good. So I'm proud.
I'm not going to argue that.
For those that don't know, this is Ryan Brandt. Ryan Brandt has joined me in the booth, not Steve Briggs. He's on assignment. So we'll see him back next week as we make the travel to Hollidaysburg, somewhere I've never been. So look forward to that travel. As Selinsgrove will look to finish this one off here tonight and travel to take on Hollidaysburg next week. Menier quickly gets into the backfield along with Dressler. Unable to make the stop, but slow the back down just a bit. But able to pick up a first down is Central Mountain as they get it inside the 25-yard line to the 24-yard line. Clock continues to run. 6:35 to go in the game. Selinsgrove leading 42-0. Check our Facebook page as I will share pictures taken by John Peters and also Holtzapple. They put them out there on the Seals website, and then they allow me to share them. I put them on our Facebook page at Selinsgrove Seals on Eagle 107. Check those out at the week to come. Sprague drops back, pumps fake, gets rid of it, slammed to the turf that time as the ball comes loose. That's Jack Carpenter able to get to Sprague and slam him to the turf.
Wow, that was a nice hit. Jarring the ball free. Carpenter, third tackle of the night. That one, well, I guess, it's not a tackle because he forced the fumble. It's a forced fumble, but I'm going to give him a tackle, too, because he deserves it. That would be one for a loss. My stat guy probably doesn't like the idea of me doing that, or do you? Oh, a tackle for a loss, a sack, and a forced fumble. That is unbelievable. But the stat sheet just went crazy for Carpenter. I love it.
Big hit by Jack on the last play there. Sprague turns, gives it to his running back. Straight up the middle is Noon. He's going to be hit and taken to the turf as that's Jake Bettle making the stop for the Selinsgrove Seals defense. And Ryan, no matter what you put in the stat sheet, when I look down and I see the Carpenter family giving Jack the ovation, so they could care less what you call it. They got to watch his son break through and slam the quarterback to the turf. When you see, and you got Jason and Jamie, and you got Kathy and Gary Bunch down there along with the rest of the family celebrating Jack Carpenter's big hit on the quarterback on that last play.
Yo, I got to say hi to Mike Bingham and the whole Bingham family. He's like, I don't think he realized I was doing the radio tonight. He's like, oh, it better be like old times. You better give me a shout out.
Noon makes the catch at the 15, up the right sideline. He's going to tiptoe into the end zone, and there's going to be a late flag thrown in after Noon and take it into the end zone.
Did you just say afternoon?
I did.
You did.
Yep.
There was going to be there's a flag afternoon took it into the end zone.
This evening.
Did you do that on purpose?
Yep, absolutely.
You did not. You're a liar.
Just like I did the Caleb Hicks pick for 6.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that. I like that. But afternoon, come on.
Yeah.
The afternoon. That's funny.
Yeah, it is very funny.
But let me finish that.
Yeah, the Bingham. You
got to give him a shout. It's my dude. It's my homie. One of my best friends. So, Mike, you better be listening, even though it's mercy rule and Selinsgrove's up 42-0.
Well, find out if he's listening. Text me right now.
If he's listening, text me.
42. Say
42.
If
Mike,
he's
if
listening
you're
right
listening.
now, send 42 to Ryan. That's
Denise Haddon's listening. Says we sound great. Thank you, Denise.
Thank you. Sprague drops back. Lot of pressure. Going to throw a screen pass. Going off to the right. Noon is going to put his head down and be slammed to the turf by Jake Bettle.
Ooga. Wow.
What did Mark Jackson say?
Mama, there goes that man. Oh, man. That was a hit.
Well, Noon thought he was going to get the best of it, but after Noon put his head down, it was Jake Bettle that finised the night off.
After that, there is no afternoon.
I think the night came early.
This is where we're really heading. I feel like this is like downloading dad jokes right now.
Well, it is 42-0. It's 3:45 to go in the ball game. Selinsgrove.
Let's get Marlon Van Horn back up in here.
What a great time. Him at halftime along with Taylor, Coach Taylor. Sprague's going to get rid of it. Got a man. Open at the 10. Spins away from a tackle and it goes down. Way to get him around the legs to hold on to him. That's Wyatt Teets. He got help from his teammates, but he was the one got to the receiver, made the catch at the 10-yard line, and he tackled him at the 9. It will be a first down and goal to go for Central Mountain at the 9-yard line.
0 points on that board. Let's go, D. You know these other guys on the sideline, even though there are a bunch of them are taking selfies somehow. You know they won 0 on the board.
And Central Mountain's going to send a receiver to the right. Sprague in a shotgun again. Bunch formation on the left. Sprague's going to roll to his left. It's a keeper trying to get to the 5. Hit at the 5-yard line and driven out of bounds about the 4-yard line. So going to be a second down goal to go from the 4 for the Central Mountain Wildcats as they're trying to get on the board for the first time here tonight, trailing 42-0 with 2:43 to go in the game.
And it doesn't matter if you go out of bounds right now. That clock does not stop in the mercy rule. So Selinsgrove's got 2.5 minutes to keep that big goose egg up there, Pat.
Well, it starts with the second down goal to go from the 5 for the Wildcats. Sprague stays in the shotgun formation with Noon behind him. Noon's going to get the call. Tiptoes in the backfield. He's at the 5. Looks like there was a face mask. Nope, no face mask. Bettle grabbed him and looked like got him, but must have got him just around the neck area and pulled him back. And looked like that was a touchdown saving tackle by Bettle, or else Noon was going to take it in for the score. But he's unable to. Brings up a third down goal to go for Central Mountain. Under 2 minutes to go in the game from the 3-yard line. Stick around after the game as we'll bring you stats from our stat man, Zach Showers, giving you the scoring rundown, the Smoke-A-Dim Health Center backbreaker play of the game, and update other scores of games going on around the valley. Sprague in the shotgun. Keeps it. Design run. 2. Goal line. Touchdown. Central Mountain Wildcats.
Well, it is
they
what
earned
it is, I guess.
It was a tough
I think
tough
there
coming.
was a holding there. Or just hoping there was.
But Sprague able to take it in for the score for the Central Mountain Wildcats to get them on the board for the first time here tonight. Sprague filling in for the injured Myers, who got hurt early in the ball game. Sprague has had to come in and fill in, and he's able to cash it in for the touchdown for the Central Mountain Wildcats. They'll attempt the extra point here. Kicking the extra point will be Jones. Nope, they're going to go for 2 here. Sprague will stay in the shotgun formation. He takes the snap, looking to throw, getting some pressure, rolling to his right, gets rid of it. It's going to be picked off. And that's going to be end of the play after that one's picked off by Jake Bettle right at the goal line. So Selinsgrove turns away a 2-point conversion try by the Central Mountain Wildcats. But Central Mountain Wildcats do get on the board. Selinsgrove still leading 42-6 over the Wildcats. The Sprague touchdown of 3 yards out completed a 13-play drive covering 49 yards, took 8 minutes and 11 seconds. The 2-point conversion no good, but again, Selinsgrove leading 42-6. This was the type game that Selinsgrove desperately needed after last week's loss to the Mifflinburg Wildcats, in a game where they geared up for the passing attack of the Mifflinburg Wildcats. They took that away, but the Wildcats were able to take advantage of the run game in that victory a week ago. Again, this is a big bounce back for the Selinsgrove Seals. Hopefully Tucker Teets was just held out the rest of the game because the game was in control, but he did go down hurt at one point. Let's see if he is okay to come back for next week with Seals travel to take on Hollidaysburg.
And he was 1 yard away from a 4th rushing TD in the first half. But it doesn't take away from what he did. He had a really nice game. Good to see the Seals just put that complete game together tonight. It's where you want to be after week 7. A performance like that, and heading into Hollidaysburg, you would think they're going to be at their top, the most efficient they have been this year.
As Bennett will kick this one away. Line drive kick goes away from the return man, bounces out of bounds about the 5-yard line, so that will be a penalty against the Central Mountain Wildcats. So Central Mountain finished off a 13-play drive covering 49 yards, took 8 minutes and 11 seconds with the Sprague 3-yard run. The extra point no good. Selinsgrove still lead 42-6. That's the Selinsgrove Ford drive summary. So I'll talk about the Schmokendam Health Center backbreaker plays of the game, the candidates, and then give it what play will be honored as the Schmokendam Health Center backbreaker play of the game. So following the ball sailing out of bounds on a kickoff, Selinsgrove will take over at their own 35-yard line, first down and 10. Good crowd here tonight. Homecoming weekend for the Selinsgrove Area School District. Started off with the homecoming court being introduced to the crowd and crowning the king and queen for the 2022 school year. Again, Haley Nava and Max Maurer received that honor.
You want some
taking a knee. Yep. What do you got there?
Score updates?
Sure.
Okay, I'm surprised by this one. Mifflinburg 21, Schick nothing. So Schick, you know, it's the fourth quarter, but Schick getting closer than I thought that one might be. Loyalsock 34, Lewisburg nothing. That's in the third. Danville 42-0 final over Montoursville. Southern Columbia 37, Central Columbia 2. That's in the fourth. Lime Mountain 36, Halifax 6. That's in the fourth. Milton 14, Bloomsburg 13. 5-1 Milton versus 4-2 Bloomsburg. Great game going on there in Bloom. Montgomery 0, Canton 67 third quarter. Warrior Run 21, Midwest 0 third quarter. Mount Carmel 39, Hughesville 7, and that's in the third. Shamokin 0, Jersey Shore 48 in the third quarter. No surprise there.
Well, with the final snap taken there in a mercy rule or in a victory formation, the Selinsgrove Seals get the victory here tonight over the Central Mount Wildcats as they win 42-6 to improve the 5-2 as Central Mountain falls to 0-7. Again, Selinsgrove will travel to take on Hollidaysburg next week. Don't go anywhere. We appreciate all the ones watching on the SBC Sports Live YouTube channel. You can now go to Eagle 107 to listen to our post-game show where we'll bring you stats from our stat man, Zach Showers. We'll also get you the Schmokendam Health Center backbreaker play of the game. Get the final analysis from our broadcast partner, Ryan Brandt, and also updated scores on anything left going on around the valley. All that and more as part of the Eagle 107 postgame show. Here, Selinsgrove beats Central Mountain 42-6. The Selinsgrove football presented by Selinsgrove Ford on Eagle 107.